Come warm yourself round the fire and the candle and the heat and the excitement of Scottish baseball. It's our single A Caledonia Cup final. I'm Ewan Spence. Ali Hay is your umpire behind the plate and he's thrown me the thumbs up. We are ready here for the final game of the season. The championship's on the line. No more is it win or go home. It is win or spend the whole summer working out what happened. For those of you keeping track at home, our play ball is at 12:02. The pitch comes down from the Edinburgh Knights, Caitlin McCaffrey. And first blood is drawn. Joining me on the microphone, we have the outgoing president of Baseball Scotland. You're not getting away that easily, no. Paul. Paul Convoy joins us. Welcome, Paul.
Hello, hello. Glad to be here.
Second pitch comes down.
Just a bit high.
And the ball comes down. McCaffrey is going to be working the sinker as well, which last week kept the ball from going that far outfield. Lots of ground outs last week induced from the Knights pitcher.
Caitlin's got a good habit of just forcing contact, and it's usually weak contact, so the infield can do their job.
Your 1, 2, 3 for the Galaxy when they get there will be Martin, Withers and Rowell. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss on a ball that looked like it was going to be high in any case, but the bat was higher. And welcome to you all joining us live on YouTube. We're just sorting the paperwork out here from the Bobby Thompson Field Hill in the Warriston Sports Complex in Edinburgh. Another high ball comes in, and we have our first occurrence of the knock. It's a 3-2. The umpire's fists go knocking. We go knocking on the door. Something's gonna happen. It's the first batter up for the Galaxy. First to base or first out? First to base. Walk is drawn, and Martin gets himself out there, and the game is underway.
The coaching in Glasgow is one of these, you know, they teach the strike zone well. Don't see many swings and misses at anything out of the zone. Disciplined batters. Pick off attempt. Keep him honest.
You'll hear it. You've heard it before. You'll hear it again. The Scottish baseball two-step. Step 1.
Get on base.
Step 2.
Steal the base. And Kai Martin is a nippy little runner, so he will be trying to go.
We're on YouTube, Paul. We've marked it as PG. Be careful.
Yeah.
Runner goes. And the hit is high, and it's straight into
Can
the
double
glove
him
of
up
the
here.
third baseman of Ryan McFarlane. Throw goes over to first base
Double
as
play.
well. And that catches out with no tag up coming from Martin. We have a double play there. And let's be honest, Paul, double plays are probably rarer than home runs here in Baseball Scotland.
Especially those kind. You don't get many hit and run calls at single A. I don't know if it was called or not, but a pop-up is not one you want in that situation.
Up third now is shortstop Rowell for the Glasgow Galaxy. And a little rounder. This goes over. McCaffrey goes and picks up the first base line. It's not
good play by the pitcher.
First base. And there it is. It's a 3 up, 3 down off a double play and a ground out 1-3. Let's go down the numbers. No runs, no hits, none left on the base for the Glasgow Galaxy. No errors from the Edinburgh Knights. And that's the first top half of 7 top halves of a 7-inning game that we'll have here. I'm Ewan Spence.
I'm Paul Convoy.
We have the delights of Ruben in the tech truck. Say hello, Ruben.
Hello, Ruben.
That's the only time you'll ever hear him, but you'll see him keeping track of the score bugs, the cameras, and everything else we need to do. We call him the Hustler because, well, that's his surname. It's pretty obvious, that one. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Recharge your glasses. It's going to be the Knights up to see if they can take the lead in the bottom of the first. Welcome back as we go into the bottom of the first here for the Single A Caledonian Cup post-season final. There is a trophy on the line here. Edinburgh Knights, of course, the junior team to the Edinburgh Cannons, who've already walked away with the AAA trophy. So they will be looking for the club to do the double. Something that I don't think the Edinburgh club has done post-COVID.
No. No, I mean, the sort of split in the leagues happened after COVID. And this is the first time that an Edinburgh club has made the Caledonia Classic final. So, exciting times for the Edinburgh club.
Your 1, 2, 3 for the Edinburgh Knights are going to be Edwards, Fortune, Smith and McCaffrey. So at the end of this we are going to get our pitcher v pitcher in the first combination of two. Brian Edwards having a sterling game out in centre field last week with the running catch play of the game. In terms of the head-to-head though, we're going to go down breaking down some of those head-to-head numbers now. But the teams themselves, 1 win to Galaxy, 1 win to Knights, 1 tie forfeit. So it is on a knife edge.
It is. These two teams were quite inseparable during the regular season.
First pitch comes in and it is brought back into the backstop. And our pitcher Martin for the Glasgow Galaxy gets himself ahead in the count straight away. We're not in 1.
Yeah, one of the things I was asked to remind you, Ewan, was that the Knights are not the junior team of the Cannons, they are the single A affiliate. There was a few nods towards, we're not juniors.
I like to see that fighting spirit in a team. I'll quickly save that one. You know how many words I've had to learn again? It's like, I know what the word affiliate means in baseball, but see when you put you behind a microphone. Pitch comes in low into the outside, they're 1-1.
Yeah, in the realms of Scottish sports, it would be classed as a junior team, but
exactly,
this
we've
is
got to keep
baseball,
something that belongs to us. I mean, we have the weather. It's a lovely, scorching hot 12 degrees here with a fine layer of mist. Don't quite think it's tap staff, not yet, Paul. There's a tiny temptation of a gust.
It's double digits, it's tap staffs. That's the rules in Scotland. Once it goes to 9 degrees, then you put a jumper on.
2-1. Three and 1. Pitch comes down, Edwards decides he's not going to leave it. I think he was hoping that was going to just roll a bit farther to the outside, but no, once again, the first at bat, and we get the first knocking on the door for the Edinburgh Knights. 3-2, full count. Decision between catcher and pitcher has been made. Wind, ball, swing, miss, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, first out.
Well, the mistake there was taking the second strike. It was one you wanted to hit. That's part of the single A process. You're learning these things, and you develop all year. You're still developing now.
And with 5 teams in single A, it's also pointing out that all teams get at least 1 slot in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, to look at this, Galaxy were the 4th seed in the league, and they have made the final. And justifiable as well. They've developed, and that's the whole point of the regular season for single A, is to hone these skills, because when you get to the postseason, especially the final, you have to go 7 innings. There's no time limit. There's no 5 inning limit. You've still got the rules of 1 round order for the first 6, but.
And that's a good solid hit that's going into mid-centre field, drops into the gap. And we have our first hit of the game from Adam Fortune Smith. Second baseman makes himself up to first base.
It's good contact there.
Good contact there indeed. Glasgow Galaxy, as 4th, played the 5th seed in the equivalent of a wild card to get through. Yep. Last week, they had to play the Glasgow Comets, which is the other team in Glasgow. And here's my fun stat. That's the only time in all of single A history that the Galaxy have beat the Comets.
Wow, even I didn't know that one. Right now, outside, so nice pitch.
And it's pitcher v pitcher. It's the Knights pitcher, Kit McCaffrey, at the plate. And it's Martin for The Galaxy on the mound, and Martin draws the first, not one. Runner goes. Fortune Smith comfortably making it up to second base there, getting the 90 feet. And brings himself into scoring position. Runner goes second through third, and lucky bounce just to the behind of the plate, puts it out of reach of the catcher Casey, and Adam Fortune Smith steals third base. Brave move.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he's noticed something in Kai Martin's pitches. Maybe he's tipping the breaking ball. I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
But you rule of don't get out as third. Challenge there. Successfully by Fortune Smith. Puts himself 90 feet away. Essentially any solo play from McCaffrey is going to bring the first run in.
That's a good take.
And the what? Counters 3-1 after a sportsmanship-like correct from McCaffrey to umpire Ali Hay. And that bounces foul.
Ali Hay, the home plate umpire, this is his first sort of full season umpiring. He's umpired a lot of the single A games, and I'm pleased that he was willing and available to do the final here. I feel he's earned it. He's done a great job this year behind the plate. You might notice a few hand signals that might look wrong, but as I say, he's still learning. It's his first season.
And we are a development league in all areas.
That's it, yeah.
Strike three called there. McCaffrey just grazing the bottom outside corner there for the second out. Edinburgh Knights still have Adam Fortune Smith up on third base, 90 feet from home. Delcourt comes in. Delcourt never having played against the Galaxy this season.
No, he's a sort of midway through the season addition to the Knights roster. Good batter, but very good batter.
Martin draws the swing.
I stand by that statement after that swing. I still do stand by that statement.
Sometimes it just breaks away after you've made the decision to swing the bat. Fastball down the middle. Curves out to the inside, 1-1. Speaking of development, we've got a broadcasting team that's developing as well.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us live on YouTube or watching us again. It's been great fun years. We've been bringing you coverage of Baseball Scotland throughout the season. We will be back again next year. We might even have some more fun bits of software to play around with. But for now, play the ball, hit Smarty, goes over to the shortstop, throws down from Rebel over to McIntosh at first base, and that throw is in time. Third out, Fortune Smith's double steal at the end amounts to nothing on there. No runs for the Edinburgh Knights off the single hits, and one left on base. No errors charged to the Glasgow Galaxy, and it all ends all square after the first inning. We're going to be playing 7. There's no time limit on this one, so we might play 8, we might play 9, we might play 10. But here's something, we're going to find a winner at some point. And that may start at the top of the second inning, which is coming along shortly. I'm Ewan Spence.
I'm Paul Convoy.
Your sponsor's name could go in here next season. Get in touch if you do. baseballscotland.co.uk. We'll take a break and be back with you in 60. And welcome back to the top of the second here at the Bobby Thompson Memorial Field at the Warson Sports Complex.
The complex. It's just a field.
No. Well, I've had people talk to us on YouTube and think we have one of the greatest outfield views that they've seen.
I mean, that rivals the Phillies. Look at that view. Houses, history,
I'm
trees.
standing here with a Phillies City Connect baseball cap on. I don't think it's rivals Citizens Park at all.
There might be a slight bias there, Paul.
It is pretty though.
And it's a solid hit. It goes and he drops in a shallow centre field as we have Greenan taking himself up to first base, thinking of second, does the turn and decides against it. Brings himself on. First at bat of the second inning.
Kieran Casey is one of the batting threats on this Galaxy lineup. Young man is putting some good bat to ball this season.
Solidly contacting the ball, just lifts it over and drops it into the gap. Casey Green and McIntosh are your 1, 2, and 3. Casey takes a jog up to second base. The Hearts on the bench will be wishing he'd done it a little bit faster just to be really sure. But he does take the steal in any case. Step 1, step 2, done on pitch 1, pitch 2.
Must admit, I've not seen many Galaxy games this year, or travels for the single A, but normally it's the man at the bat just now is the catcher. And the few games I have umpired for Galaxy single A, that young man at the plate just now has done a phenomenal job behind the plate.
In the head-to-head of the teams, Grennan is batting 800.
Wow.
4 hits, 5 appearances, 5 at-bats. Runner goes from second through third. Fortune Smith showing the way. The throw is off target from catcher. In any case, Markowski just missing the target of Ryan McFarlane. McFarlane thankfully getting his glove on it. Otherwise, that would have been the first run on the board. Nevertheless, it's another 90 feet. It's some scoring position into dangerous scoring position.
Yeah.
And the count goes 2-1.
Some dangerous batters coming up as well.
High pitch comes in there. It's 3-1 on the count now. Brennan is the DH, and the Galaxy are batting with 10 in the order, as are the Edinburgh Knights. Baseball Scotland rules, you can have your 10 in the order. Can give as much experience as possible. And the walk is awarded. First base, home plate is covered in case of the run down, but it's not needed in any case. We get the corners filled up. No outs so far. Runner at first, runner at third. McIntosh comes up to bat now. Solid head-to-head record here as well against the Knights. It's a 2.85.
Put numbers in this one, Paul.
I know, I'm impressed.
Runner goes from first up to second. More speed on that one. Ball bounces around the catcher's feet, so there's no opportunity to even make the decision.
Good block for the catcher there. The runner on third, you can't take that risk.
Two runners scoring position. And pitch comes in high once more. Caffrey managing to drop the pitch last week and just break it down, but it's just not clicking this week at the moment. Count goes 2-0.
The break's happening just a little bit too late, I think. Or in that case, too early.
And bounces to the back plate. Runner comes down from third. It's in time. It's an overthrow from the catcher as McCaffrey sprints in to pick up the ball as the pitcher, but not in time. As Casey gets himself home there.
The throw over the pitcher's head there could have been costly.
Wild pitch there going through. Greenan takes himself from second down to third as well on that pitch. And Glasgow draw first blood on the scoreboard. Single run going through.
I think the batter was taking that one all the way anyway, but caught the edge of the zone.
Jack look over to third base. Pitch comes down. It's high, but it's decision to be hit. It goes over to the second baseman, Fortune Smith, down to James Horn at first base in time.
Good play at second base. Just take that out.
First out is drawn. Second run brought home as well for the Galaxy. It's early in the game, though. Your focus is always more on outs than on runs.
That's exactly it.
That said, it's never too early just to put a little bit more pressure on the Galaxy. Basically looking at that little flag called control and going, we're a bit more in control of the control flag than you are, Knights.
Fortune Smith did the good thing there. He looked at the runner, knew it was, take the out. And the solid throw to first. It's a long game of baseball, especially in single A.
Pitch comes out high and inside. 1-0. Another pitch coming in high. McCaffrey trying to get the sinker working. And it is good conditions for it. There's the wind is very still. Microphone's picking up a touch, but there's nothing really that could affect the throw of the ball here. Pitch down, that's there, drops in.
That's exactly what she's wanting.
And it's a solid contact, bounces in the infield, hits the rim of the glove of third baseman Ryan McFarlane, goes past him.
Incredible throw from the shortstop.
Delcourt backs that up, over to James Horndon first to get the out.
Yeah, I believe Delcourt plays for the Stirling University team.
I believe Ryan McFarlane owes him a beer for preventing the error.
Yeah.
Or another drink of choice. Okay, now, do I put that down as a score as a 6-3 or a 5-6-3?
That was just a 6-3.
No control on the ball. Yeah. Larkin, the catcher, comes up now, batting 166 against the Edinburgh Knights in the head-to-head. Bases are empty. 2 outs. Swing and a miss on one of those off-speed pitches. Larkin taking quite an aggressive batting stance there. He sort of really wants to throw the power down. Yeah. Not going to be a lot of finesse if contact is made. That said, McCaffrey is always looking just to induce a weak contact in any case. Count goes 0-2. Another high pitch there. 1-2. Larkin need to be incredibly confident on the decision here of swing or no. Decides against no on that one, and it goes high inside. Count comes back to equal, 2-2. Goes outside and sinks, but sinks low. 3-2 full count, so knock, knock, knock. Something's going to happen. 2 outs. Bases are empty. Galaxy have a 2-run lead. All in this inning.
Oh.
And the walk is taken.
That was not far away, that one. It's a good at bat there from Larkin, though. Very good at bat. Dempsey up now for Galaxy. Must have been a player I'm not familiar with myself, but
runner goes first to second, looping throw. Not in
We'll see
time.
what we'll see what he's got this time. But good steal by Larkin.
Apologies for the technical issues there for anybody watching live on YouTube. We're doing our best. It's Scotland. The weather sometimes gets in the way as well. Oh, hold on, we're not sponsored right now. We can tell them that they're rubbish. They might sponsor us next year, so we're not going to say anything. We've switched to your competitor. How about that? Let's see if that makes any difference. Runner in scoring position for the Galaxy up at second base. Galaxy's left fielder Dempsey at the plate just now. First time for Dempsey facing the Knights. And tempted to do the swing out there well outside the zone, reaching forward, and that goes for a strike.
Yeah, the swing at the outside pitch. I'd throw that one again.
For all that baseball is a team sport, it becomes a head-to-head shootout between pitcher and batter. Runner goes from second on a foul ball that goes high and behind. And it's a walk back to second base for Larkin there. He pretty much makes the 90 feet there, it has to be said. Decision made. There we are. It's a ground ball. Goes out to shortstop. Throws over to James Horn at first to base. It's a Delcor Horn combination on 6-3 once more. 3 ground outs there in the inning of 4-3, 6-3, 6-3 there. Nevertheless, 2 runs for the Galaxy, taking them to 2 runs in total. Just a single hit in there with 1 left on base. No errors charged to the Edinburgh Knights. As we go into the bottom of the second, the Knights will be looking to cut down that 2-run lead that the Galaxy have taken out of them. I'm Ewan Spence. Ball Convoy joins me. We've not reached the foul tree yet. We've not reached the boundary field yet, but there's still been exciting baseball for an inning and a half, and we're going for a full 7 here from Edinburgh as we look to find the Caledonia Cup final winner, at least for the single A. Welcome back as we go into the bottom of the second here at the Bobby Thompson Field in Edinburgh. The Edinburgh Knights are chasing a 2-run deficit. 1, 2, 3 are Matthews, Bickerman and Horn. Sam Matthews here. 3-0 against the Galaxy for the season. Looking to break that here. Martin still pitching, decision made. It's a fastball to the outside.
One thing both these teams are going to have to consider for the first time this season is the pitching depth they've got. Knowing that you play 7 innings in the final kind of encourages you to develop pitchers throughout the whole year, which is the whole point of it.
Pitch comes into the inside. 2-0. Also worth pointing out that Matthews here is one of the few left-handers that the Knights actually have.
Yeah, it's a rare thing in this league.
So we do have a little bit of a shift on from the Galaxy in defense. Shortstop pretty much over second base halfway between first and second.
Matthews draws the walk. I mean, me saying that lefties are a rare thing in this, I don't think I need to say it. You can see the batter's boxes on the stream here. One is considerably less worn than the other.
Matthews gets the walk. First batter on base, always a useful thing. Bakerman steps up now, first time facing the Galaxy. Martin's just taking a moment here. Facing a new batter, of course, just deciding how to play this at bat. Starts off with a high sinker, but going for a ball doesn't sink down far enough. 1-0.
The umpire was considering a strike call there, but waited till the batter stood up a little bit. Yep.
Just check the zone.
Changed his mind. That's it. No years.
Runner goes from first up to second, and it bounces on the ground in front of the catcher. So the decision is made by physics rather than the catcher. Stolen base. Matthews up to second, into scoring position. Pitch goes outside and low. Bickerman making Martin work for this. 3-0 is the count.
Good lead at second.
Second goes over to third. It's a slower runner than previously, but the throw is off target.
The runner was lucky that the catcher was off balance on that throw.
The throw was in time, but the angle was off. Basket catch about 10 feet to the infield.
I think he saw the bounce on the pitch and thought he's going to take off, but
I'm sorry, has there been a bet that I don't know about that everybody's got to try and steal second from third just because everybody's, we've had it. It's 3 out of 4 half innings now.
It's clearly something that both the coaches have, at this level, it's easier. At the single A, it's something you can try. At triple A, it's something you wouldn't dare off unless it was a wild pitch or something. But
let's teach them bad habits now.
I know, I don't like it.
Ball goes, runner goes up from first to second. Ball bubbles on the ground.
Second base is scoring position. You don't need to take risks to steal third. But of course, being a third base does have advantages.
James Horn, who's had a productive time at first base so far in the defense, gets his first chance on offense here. Batting 200 and head-to-head against the Galaxy.
I don't know, the Horns had some back issues this season, which has prevented them playing quite a lot.
Got an equal count at 1-1. And that ball comes in again, just falling short of home plate and bouncing and getting out of the reach of the catcher. Both teams will be thankful that our backstop is not the regulation 60 feet away from the plate. I don't know if that's regulation, but it's usually quite a lot more than what we have here in Edinburgh.
Yes. I don't know the official distance, but it's pretty much the same distance for the mound to play as it is backstop to plate.
And the count stays equal, but the numbers are higher, 2-2. We're still in scoring at second and third, no outs so far. First base is open. So do the wiggly thing with the hands if you're an umpire. And that's a cold strike on a sinker.
You should not be leaving one as close as that to the umpire if you're a batter.
Still runners in second and third. Still has first base open. Catcher Makarowski steps up now. Not for two against the Knights, against the Galaxy in this season. He's the Knights catcher. And it's a swing there on a high ball. This is temperament now, Paul. This is just take it easy. Don't make any mistakes. Get it in play, but you know, try and if you're going to go out, make just yourself out. Don't get a double or anything risky.
The first base is open, so the pitcher will not throw your meatball. You know, he's going to try and make you swing at nonsense or ground out. And as a batter, you've just got to wait patiently on that good pitch.
Pitch is there.
Bounced off the front of the plate. Of course, it went underneath the fencing here, which doesn't mean anything. It's just bad field. We don't have the luxury of full fenced fields here in Scotland, so there's parts of the fencing up the first base line that kind of allows the ball to roll underneath, and that's what happened there. So it was a dead ball. That's why no runners advanced or attempted to advance.
2-1 on the count. Makarowski ahead. That pitch comes in low, rolls back into the aforementioned temporary fence as well. Everybody stays steady. 3-1.
Good job by the catcher there to get to that one.
And as you said there earlier, Paul, let the ball come to you if you are the batter.
Yep.
And at 3-1, you're comfortable here in terms of you have the option. The pitcher batter head-to-head duel. High noon pitch comes down, and it's left to go inside. It's a walk drawn. Makarowski will be happy with that as an appearance.
Yeah, you can see the difference between some of the sort of level of players here. So our single A league in Scotland, it's called single A because it's predominantly played by single A players, but there are a lot of players that would be classed at double A, should we have a double A league, and Makarowski there is one of them.
With one out, the Edinburgh Knights load up the bases, and we have a coaching visit from Glasgow Galaxy's Andrew Sweeney, handing up to Martin, just to calm the nerves, give an extra minute, and just disrupt their rhythm and hopefully get it towards a better rhythm.
Yes, and you're now going to come up against the other Knights lefty as well, so.
Not as much shift on in the outfield as we saw previously. Infield has moved over. Umpire decision there, I suspect, is that the bat did go.
I don't know. I think it was on the pitch.
We play the ball, we play the umpire, we play the count. The count is 0-1. The ball bubbles out of the catcher's hand again. It's proving to be an issue. It's not proving yet to be one that has impacted the scoreboard or, in fact, any of the runners. But it is something to be aware of for the Galaxy and possibly somewhere for the Knights, just to be aware of the runners that.
Yeah, I mean, as a runner on third, you'd be kind of looking to see exactly where that ball is going at this stage. Get a good lead because pitcher's not going to come and try and pick you off. Third baseman's playing way off. Should be taking a much bigger lead at third base there. Much bigger.
That pitch is left to the outside. On the left.
If I was part of the Knights coaching here, I'd be screaming at my third baseman to get down that line a lot further. You'd be halfway to the plate by the time the pitch is delivered.
Strike comes through there.
Because if you're halfway there and the pitch goes well, you can score.
Another equal count as well. Yeah. And there's the swing and the miss.
Ah, he's out.
Catcher just putting the tag on just to be sure. But it is a strikeout there. 2 outs for
I mean, if there's
the Knights.
a batter you want up for the Knights, this is another one. This is one of the double A players I was talking about. The manager of the Knights himself, Ryan Mookie McFarlane.
You ever heard a commentator's curse?
Oh, yeah.
do you know what his record is against the Galaxy?
I don't want to ask.
All right, then. Don't ask. But it's not in 3. McFarlane here at bat has yet to have a hit against the Galaxy in the whole season.
Okay. That was no better time to get a first one in the final, right?
I like that. Always sunny in Scotland, isn't it? There's sun up there somewhere.
I wonder if the Galaxy know this, though. This is one of the things, you know, you've done your research, have they?
And there's the swing that bounces to the ground. Goes underneath the glove of the third baseman, and he makes it up to first base. And it's a single RBI. And as you said there, Paul, that's the time to make your first hit against the Galaxy. Get yourself on the board, half the lead.
I didn't know the answer. I wasn't sure. Was it a hit? Was it an error? But yeah, I think that was definitely a hit. It was under the third baseman's glove, but it's a hard one to field. Give him credit.
I don't know, if we give it an error, we can take away his head.
See, part of me wants to do that too.
Bases remain loaded with 2 outs.
You're at the
as
top
they
of the
go
order
back
as
to the
well.
top of the order. Edwards swung out strike in his first appearance. Eye comes in 1-0. Quiet comes over the field. Pitch decision made.
Good block by the catcher.
Blocked by the catcher on that, coming in low. Edwards going 2-0 and ahead in the count. Pitch comes down. Into the catcher's glove. Just inside the box.
Yeah, that bottom corner.
Low into the right bottom corner. 2-1.
There was some hilarity there in the batter's box of the Knights. Try to get the donut off the bat. You might have heard the thump, thump, thump. That's what that was.
It was the Yankees banner that invented the batter's donut.
Was it?
Yeah, but the Yankees didn't give any money, so he went to another club, took it with them back in the 50s.
Yeah, there you go. More you know.
And the walk is drawn, and with bases loaded, that ties up the game. Everybody moves around 90 feet. Bickerman gets himself in home.
Tie game and trivia. Look at that.
Makarowski takes himself to third. Captain McFarlane up to second. There's 2 McFarlanes in the game, folks. And Edwards puts himself onto first base. Adam Fortune Smith took the hit in the first inning and got round to third base. First base runner that the Knights had. Be looking to do similar in this time if he can. He's currently 3 for 7 lifetime, not lifetime, 3 for 7 this season.
If only we had lifetime stats.
And there's a pop-up that goes into the pitcher's mound.
Oh.
Martin puts the glove out, ball goes in, ball goes out. That's going to be a charged error.
Yeah.
On the pitcher, but on the pitcher, but it brings another run home as everybody moves around another 90 feet. And the Edinburgh Knights go into a 3-2 lead.
Martin will be hoping that error's not costly. Bit too relaxed, I think. Then again, there is that challenge for some of these players that don't get to use this artificial mound all that often. It's quite a step off when you're coming off that.
Pitcher again. Caitlin McCaffrey for the Knights. Struck out looking in the first appearance. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, not in one. Those 2 outs all created before the Knights started scoring runs.
Yeah.
So from a commanding position halfway through this inning, the Knights have taken back control. The flag currently belongs to them. It rolls side.
Through the net, unfortunately. The runner has to go back because of the temporary fencing situation discussed earlier. Unless the ball goes over the fence, it is a dead ball. If it goes through it or under it, it's just nothing happens.
So what you're saying is if we had the company that sponsored building a wall, there would have been another run there.
Many factors, but yes, if we had a company that could give us better fencing.
Oh, it was aiming high. It was aiming high.
With a wall comes planning permission. We're not there yet.
I'll get a little pop-up one like in Roadrunner cartoons. Not in 2. Pitch comes down. And it's a swing. It's going into the air. Should be for the shortstop there.
Good play by shortstop.
That one there is taken out. But that first pop-up there, that was an error on the catcher, has handed the lead to the Edinburgh Knights. Let's run down the numbers. 3 runs in that inning for a total of 3. Just off a single hit for the Edinburgh Knights and 3 left on base. 1 error charged to the Glasgow Galaxy, although I will flag up we're doing the unofficial scores here. So we'll see what the official scoring comes through when that gets uploaded 24 hours afterwards. Leaves you just enough time to put in a scoring challenge if you so feel the need. But there we are. It's the 3-2 game. The Galaxy drew the first 2, put themselves ahead halfway through the second inning. Bottom of the second inning, the Knights cut the lead, equalised, and then took the lead. It's a 7 innings game. We're getting ready for the 3rd innings. It's getting longer. It's getting more action. Joining myself, Ewan Spence, is
Paul Convoy.
And Ruben Hustle in the truck, who's not going to say anything because he's desperately fighting the internet. We hope successfully. And if that's the case, we'll catch you back here in 60 seconds. Welcome back. It's the top of the 3rd game. Here's the Edinburgh Knights welcome the Glasgow Galaxy here. It's a 3-2 game to the home team, the Edinburgh Knights.
It's the second pitch there to Andrew Knox-Watson. I think I got his first name right.
You don't do first names. There's not enough room in a bit of paper. There will be changes coming up for the Galaxy when they go into the defense, but at the moment, no changes in the lineup.
It's 3 balls so far for McCaffrey.
Comes in high again for a 4-pitch walk. And the Glasgow Galaxy return to the top of the order for their second run through.
Kai Martin coming back up. I believe his pitching is done. He'll be replaced by Ines Darian at the next inning. But will remain in the field somewhere and to figure out find out where he goes.
Top of the order is Martin, who's batting 300 in the season head-to-head against the Knights. Drew a walk on his first plate appearance.
Kai Martin's had a really good season this year.
For those of you who are watching live on YouTube, thanks for finding the other URL. We've had a stream interruption. Much like the single A players, we're still working through the impact of all our live broadcasting as well. But we will have the full game uploaded on YouTube as a separate file as we go through the week. So if you're watching on that, forget all that last bit. Everything's fine. Runner goes from second over to third again.
Foul ball.
That's a foul ball. Roxward heads back to second, which he's still not getting to steal third. There we are again.
Like I say,
Five half innings, another fourth go to do the second to third steal.
It's the single A mentality. It's we can get third. We can do this, but teach good habits.
Bouncers goes foul. Now we have our split streams. We don't know how many was on the first one. But we do have 18 watching live, so thank you very much for coming along.
Hello to all 18 of you.
Comments are open, so feel free for your brickbats and bouquets. But Amateur League, you're on the internet, so
Be nice.
please be smart before you press the enter key, okay? While you're at it, www.baseballscotland.co.uk, and you can follow us on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/BaseballScotland. Both the teams here have their own Facebook pages as well. Solid hit goes over there, straight into the glove of third baseman Moody McFarlane. Pops up to second base, bounces off the hip of Knox Ward
Nice
for
play
the
by
Galaxy, but he had his
McFarlane.
foot on the bag.
It was a nice play. I like that. Looked all athletic.
Do you want to do a line 5 or a line 5 exclamation mark? Is it good enough for an exclamation mark on the score sheet, Paul?
No, let's not
Good,
go.
but not that good.
Let's not go crazy.
Let's not. Well, they're stepping up now. Flew out in the first inning. Still to get their first hit against the Knights. Runner goes from second to third. And ball there just bounces around the edge of the catcher's mitt. And the steal is successful as there. A walk for 90 feet and a steal for 180 feet from Knockward so far.
It's a much better jump than Oxford, isn't there?
One out so far. Runner on third. First base is open.
Local wildlife causing issues.
It's all right. The pub will be open soon.
Yep, even the wasps in Scotland drink.
I thought the Wasps played rugby. Pitch comes in. It's high, doesn't drop.
Just an outside, I think.
And the outside as well. Did it have the vertical there?
I don't know, it's really hard to tell from this angle.
In any case, indicated outside. Count goes 2-0. And a high ball coming in there. 3-0.
I think because Ali Hay has umpired so many single A games, he does indicate to the pitcher where they missed when he can. Just to help that development, I guess.
And the walk drawn there. With the still to get the first hit, but he's on base. Runners at the corners. The Knights leaving a really big gap out in the right outfield. Just looking over there, there's a huge gap out there that is just going to need. Okay, yeah, you've got right-handed batters coming in, so you wouldn't expect too much of an offside hit.
Yeah.
But still, that's a big gap. I don't know. You might be able to see it actually better on the camera than we are here.
It does look like a huge gap. I don't know if that's McFarlane in the right field. Sorry, he's normally a first baseman. Or he has played first base. He's sort of mixed between the two.
Team are just having a little discussion. Infield all gathered around, so we will just keep an eye on the positions there.
Yeah. Mr. McFarlane. Because we've got McFarlane at third base and McFarlane in right field.
I had to call them once. It was an overnight in the cells otherwise.
If my parents are listening, no, that was a joke. I've never been overnight in a police cell. Not for criminal reasons. I did have to keep an eye on some charity money at one point, but there we go. Right, okay, so play is going to be back on, and again, that gap that we've spotted, Paul, is still there. Runner goes up. Withers goes from first up to second. Bubbled ball out the catcher's glove. In any case, the chances are the throw is not going to be on, but there's another 90 feet.
Yeah, we could be missing some. Maybe the Knights have done their homework and they know that the ball's just not going to go there. Don't give me that look.
First baseman stays close to first. Second baseman stays close to second. The gap is there.
Nice pitch.
Strike is thrown though. Not in one. Just the one out so far. Runners at second and third. Equalised count at 1-1. Eyes open, wide awake. Pitch again.
Not far away, that one.
Once McCaffrey works out the top of that zone, those are just going to drop in.
Yeah.
And catch everybody. Of course, the other advantage there is you throw in a fast ball pitcher as a relief pitcher, and then everybody's eyes are off. That's a fly ball.
That's pretty much the tactic.
And that is going
right into the gap.
Into the gap. Everybody's running. It's a long throw
It's
back to the
play.
catcher.
Oh, the
catcher
drops it.
The ball. It's safe, and the equalizer runs.
Tied the game.
It's an error on the catcher there to bring that home.
I've got to say, that was a superb throw from the left fielder. Absolutely on target. It's just, you know, this is single A baseball. These things are going to happen. You can't beat yourself up about it. You are still learning the game.
It's a single for Rowell. Puts himself on a first. Withers remains up at second, making sure to tag up. Unlike Martin in the first inning, tag up's needed when you have the fly ball going up in the air, just to be sure. So third base is open, one in scoring position, one out. Casey comes up, who took the first hit of the game for the Glasgow Galaxy in the second inning. And we're all tied up once more. Everybody's off the hook pitching wise. 3-3 for the runs. Runner goes from second to third. And safe. Safely in the glove. Now, my safe call wasn't on third base because the ball hadn't reached yet. The call from the third base umpire, Wolfie Dean, is an out call.
Yeah, I'm not going to be making a comment on this just yet. I think there might be a little conference happening with the umpires.
I think everybody's staying nice and cool on the temperature as the two managers, Andrew Sweeney just comes into the play,
he's
got and Ryan McFarlane for the Knights. I just think both were asking for the decision. Withers doing the smart thing and just keeping the foot on the bag.
That's it. Yep.
Wait until it's definitely dead. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
Certainly the throw was in time, but whether the ball made contact in time is the question here.
The throw was quite high, and I'm sure it was clearer on the stream for people than it might be for us standing back here through this, looking through the net, but I'm not sure.
I'm going to ask you to put your umpire's hat on for a second, Paul, because the throw had to go over the batter. Is there a case there for the batter getting in the way of the throw from the catcher, forcing the higher ball?
Well, see, that's maybe what they're talking about right now, because...
Now, is that interference? Because
Yeah, technically. I mean, at the same time, the batter's entitled to the batter's box. But if the batter makes a move intentionally to block the throw, that's
he did step back into it.
Yeah, and it's that intention, I believe, is what you're looking for.
Well, we're just going to wait for the umpire's call now. The officials' meeting is over. And Withers is making
like
their way back to the dugout. So whether that is going to be called as a tag out or interference is great for the records, but in a sense, all that matters to the Knights and the Galaxy is that's 2 outs.
Yeah, that's what matters to the Knights here.
Yeah, Rowell did steal base up to second in all of that action. Casey is still at the home plate. Caffrey still throwing the ball. That's a ball to the inside and low coming through there. Scores have been equalised, 3-all so far. One hit made. There's another ball there, just not sinking into the zone hard enough.
Yeah, she's not far away here, though. And Casey's a good back, a good command of the zone for himself.
Gets himself an advantageous count, 3-0 for the Galaxy.
Yeah,
that one grazes the top, 3-1. Runner in scoring position. The corners are empty. 3-1. Remember that Casey drew the hit previously in this game, taking himself 3 for 7 lifetime. Walk is gained.
He is the batter in the lineup. You don't want to throw that easy pitch to. He can do damage. And this guy's not slouch either, like these two up here.
Grounded took a walk in the second inning, but is season 4 for 5 against the Knights.
Yeah, Kieran Casey has the home run power in the lineup, though.
And there's the pick-off attempt made up to second base. Everybody's on their toes, both in the throw and the catch, and the foot on the bag. Let's just keep everybody honest. Don't take too much there. After all, apparently the rule in this game is see how many second to third steals you can get to upset the commentator. Runner goes from second to third. Runner also goes up from first to second. Throw from the catcher. Decided up to third base. Into the glove. Not in time this time.
The throw was in time, but the tag wasn't.
Umpire time called again. We also have pointed out that third baseman Ryan McFarlane is also the team captain.
I think the umpire just mentioned to the Knights manager there to tell his catcher to keep the comment down a little bit.
And it is another get together from our 3 umpires.
Yeah.
Ali Hay from the plate and is head umpire for here. George Crespo is our outfield first second umpire, and Wolfie Dean is our outfield second third umpire.
Yeah.
That's what I expect to happen when somebody tries to seal third.
Yeah, so runner's safe. That's what the final decision there. I think it was just to clarify what they saw. I mean, the home plate umpire might have seen something different. It's like cards have fallen off him.
One appeal successful, one appeal failed. One out, one not out.
50-50, yeah.
Kind of feels that's fine.
Yeah, that's fair, right?
That's not how this game is umpired, Paul.
No.
You said that as a commentator, though.
I did.
Yeah, there we go. That's fine. That said, the teams are 1-1 with a tied stroke forfeit game between them. So they are very much equal. The Knights coming in as the second seed, so have home advantage. The Galaxy, of course, coming in as fourth seed, going through the wild card. Also having to play their fellow Glasgow team last week as well, the Comets, and in a first for the single A, it's the first time that the Galaxy had actually beat the Comets. Now we get a chop down for the ground. McCaffrey takes the pitcher's throw over to first base. It's not in time, so we have Grennan getting a single, and it's an RBI single as that as Rowell not tagged out. The steal on third base previously makes it home there. 2 more runs on the board in this inning to match the 2 runs in the previous inning, and the Glasgow Galaxy go back into the lead from 2-0 to 3-2 to 4-3. Swings and roundabouts, avenues, alleyways, other Scottish songs. Salmon Skull. There we go. There's a Glasgow team after all. That's a deep cut there. That's a real, okay, let's look that one up, kids. Yeah. And Gen Zers, you'll probably need to look that one up as well. McIntosh comes up. Ground out 4-3 in the first appearance in this game. And is currently lifetime 2 for 8. Just in the head-to-head Galaxy Knights. All the stats that you're going to be getting outside of this game are only going to be the head-to-head stats. Runner goes first up to second. There's your two-step successfully completed.
Oh.
And with a runner on third,
Yeah.
that's an interesting decision.
Yeah.
2 outs though, maybe thinking there's a chance to get something happening there.
As I've told all the catchers in our league that I've coached, 3 things have to go right to get that pick off a second. Pitcher's got to deliver it in time, you've got to get the pop up and the throw, and then the person at the base has got to catch it. So you can do your job right 99% of the time, and you might not get any runners.
And the runner's got to be slow. 4 things. Because let's face it, they could get all 3 right, all 3 of them right. But if that's Reggie Jackson up there,
There's only but 2 players in this entire league that would beat some of these catchers.
and Reggie Jackson's never played in Scotland, so he'd be
No, he doesn't count, no.
He'd be in single A anyway, wouldn't he? He'd be down here. You've not had your 5 games yet.
A few teams would try that.
And there's the grounder. It goes back up to second baseman. Unfortunately, Smith over to James Horn in time. It's comfortable 4-3. That's the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the lead has been handed back. Are you ready for the numbers? It's 2 runs in the inning for a total of 4. 1 more hit on the board, and we have 2 left on base. 1 error is going to be charged there to the Edinburgh Knights catcher. And the Glasgow Galaxy back in the lead 4-3. And we're midway through the 3rd. There is going to be a defensive change. We do have a pitcher changed, and we'll get that confirmed for you when we come back after the break.
It could just be that Kai's going to be a DH for the pitcher.
We
I would
shall see
assume
what
that's what's going to
happens.
happen.
It's an interesting puzzle.
And we're back in the action for the bottom of the 3rd. There's the ball coming down as we have a new pitcher for the Glasgow Galaxy as Darren comes in. Martin currently has the win on his hook. To be honest, Darren will be hoping it stays there.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the layout to make sure it was the batter I was thinking of. So, I think Arnaud Delcourt is a player with Stirling University. And the first time I met Ines Darry in the picture was when he was playing with Stirling University. Now a graduate and playing through in Glasgow with the Galaxy. Player at the AAA level, but the rules allow him to be a pitcher to develop at this level.
Walk is taken.
And that was an interesting matchup. That walks the first batter out of the bullpen. And now faces his first lefty.
Delcourt is on base. Matthews and Bickerman are you 1, 2, 3. Respectively, they were ground out walk. Delcourt has now got his walk on there. And after a walk up to first base in Scotland, you generally look at second base and go, am I going to steal it? And the answer in this case is, yes, you are. Runner in scoring position.
As they say in this part of the world, I'm hating that.
Runner goes from second to 3rd. There's another one on my silly steal box. Why are they stealing box? Has a lot of money in it just now. Paul, listen to it. Delcourt over to 3rd base. Walk stolen. 270 feet. That's unearned. But if the run gets in, then a run's a run. Pitch goes in outside for the ball. Swing and a miss.
Bit of an ugly swing, that one.
going outside as well there, I think. Instead of a 2-0, it's a 1-1. Swing, grounds, bounces in front of the pitcher. Decision takes a moment, decides to go to first base. Gets the out there.
Thought
Delcourt
was going to
hold
come
it
home.
third. Was thinking about it as well.
Yep. Good decision in the end. Great play by the pitcher there.
Just a little beat of the ball in the pitcher's glove. Holds back Delcourt at third base. And still leaves enough time to snap the ball over to first. You're looking for a development league and what you can learn to develop. That sort of, don't rush it.
Yep.
Take your time. It's not major league. You've got a second or two before you have to snap a safe, steady throw over. And there's a chop throw straight away from Bickerman. Bounces in front of the
slip.
Into the infield, out by third base. Pitcher goes over it and just slides off the ground as well.
Yeah, an unfortunate slip. I think that's, again, it's a bit of a disadvantage for players that aren't used to it. Is this artificial mound, you can't use metal cleats on it because it just becomes too dangerous and you just slide off it. So you have to use either regular trainers or rubber studs. And if you don't have rubber studs with you, you're using regular trainers. So when you come off it, the grass is then the problem.
And you have this change in texture.
Yeah. I think that's what caught Ennis out there.
To be fair, it's some better quality than Oakland just now. Runner goes up from first through second. 2 second, doesn't go through second. We've already got one on third. But you'd be thinking about it, wouldn't you? James Hearn struck out looking in the second inning. Now here at the third with runners on second and third. One out so far. Pitch comes in fast, hard, and on target. Strike one. One and one. First base is open, one out. And it's scooped up. It's going to go high. It's going shallow center field.
Tagging up on that.
Time. In the glove.
Why wasn't he tagging? Goodness me. Base coach should be telling him there as well. This is poor.
And we talk about development. We've just seen two sides of that there. Some smart play from the pitcher in the action before and out there. It's just like, yep, you just make sure.
Yes, that's the difference in these leagues and these games. It's really it comes down to who can make the least mistakes, and that to me is a big mistake. That could have tied the game.
Right, so down one, so they got the tying run at third and the go-ahead run at second. Makarowski took a walk in his first plate appearance. He's done a chopper in the ground. Third baseman picks it up, stumbles on the ground, but there's their time to get it over to first base. It's not in time. Makarowski takes a single and brings home Delcourt as well. And we have a tied game once more. RBI single there from Makarowski. We have runners on the corners as Bickerman takes their 90 feet into the bargain. One more run as well. 4-4 goes the game. It's the McFarlane twins next. Reese McFarlane. Well, they're not actually twins. No. They just both have the same surname. Hey, Paul, you blinked. What happened? Step one, step two. We're up to second base. Two runners into scoring position now as Makarowski takes a moment just to bring himself up to second. The runner on third, you don't want to throw the ball too far away from home until you know you can get that strike taken. So yes, the two McFarlanes are not related, except they play baseball, which is a family sport.
On the same team.
Which is further. Yeah. It's a found family. They're found twins.
Yeah.
Don't yet know which one's going to be played by Danny DeVito. Now it's 1-2.
Sorry about that.
I know it says cough button on the controller, but it's don't laugh at my jokes, you will encourage me button. Ball. Pitch comes down, swing and a miss there. And that there is your third out. 2 left in scoring position and left on the base for that inning. Nevertheless, 1 more run on the board to equalise up the game for the Edinburgh Knights for a 4-4 game. That comes off 2 hits. No errors charged to the Galaxy. A couple of brain fades, but we don't mark them on the score sheet. Tied game. 7 innings to play. 3 down already. 4 to go. Who said this was going to be a boring Sunday afternoon? Not me, game. Not Paul, hopefully not you watching out there as well. We're going to just make sure that we are sufficiently lubricated to carry on commentating through the 7 innings. You should do the same back at home. Catch in 60. Welcome back to the top of the 4th, which opens up with a swinging strike there. It's a 4-4 ball game. 7 innings to play, and it's the Caledonian Cup final for the Single A. It's the last game of the season for Baseball Scotland. Your 1, 2, 3 coming up here. Henriquez, Larkin, and Dempsey, who are ground out respectively through the last 3 innings.
Don't know if the call was a strike there or not. I saw the umpire's hand go up. I don't think he made a call or not. I wasn't sure if he called a strike, a swing, or everything was. Yep, did. Must have swung.
We have a 0-2 count. McCaffrey still pitching for the Edinburgh Knights. Still fine to get the top of the zone with that sinker. 1-2. And swinging strike there, reaching well over into the other batter's box there. 1 away.
Yeah, pitcher even, I think she gave up on that one, but the batter didn't.
Edinburgh Knights right fielder, Grace McFarlane, playing incredibly deep and to the right-hand side. There's leaving quite a gap in the outfield there. Centre right midfield is going to be an attractive target now. Larkin up to bat. Drew a walk first time round.
I mean, I don't see these players as often as I'd like to sometimes, but to me, Larkin is one of these players that does hit it into that gap.
He's batting 166 lifetime, season lifetime. I've done that lifetime again. I need another page that says lifetime and season stats. I don't have enough paper for that in the printer at home yet. Anyway, 166 for the season. For those of you, sinker not quite there still for McCaffrey.
I think what you was going to say was, for those of you watching us live, thank you for tuning in.
I was also going to say, there's 21 of you live. There's 26 attendants here officially in the park. So online, you need to go and get your friends and find 6 more. So we've got more watching live. It's a ball that goes into shallow right field, but into the glove of Fortune Smith on the run. Not a fast run, not as fast as Edwards Ladway, but you know what?
You don't need to run when you've got athletic skills like that. I tip my cat to Aaron Fortune Smith.
By athletic skills, you mean a very long arm?
He dived-ish. Oh, that was a good play. I'm giving him credit for that.
Line drive for second out. Tied game as we approach the halfway mark of the innings.
Yeah.
And of course, this is over halfway now in terms of outs for the Glasgow Galaxy.
We are 4-4 in the fourth with 2 down. Top of the fourth.
We're not playing in Forfar, we're playing in Edinburgh. If we ever get a Forfar Scottish baseball team, we're going to be in trouble.
There was one that was trying to get started, I do know that. And then Tayport formed, and the others went to Tayport.
It's fourth inning, 4 runs to Forfar, 5 ahead. 2 up, 2 down so far for McCaffrey. Dempsey going to grind out 6-3 in the second inning. Now moved out of left field into the DH role. And grounds that one, bounces to the infield, goes up to third baseman. Ryan McFarlane throws it over to first base. James Horn reaches out onto the ground, takes it in the glove in time. 3 up, 3 down. And it's a 5-3 there for those of you keeping track at home. But in the previous innings, there was 2 scored. In the previous to that, there were 2 runs scored. But now it's held to a duck there. And McCaffrey's pitching, inducing the ground outs, inducing the line drives that are needed to get that out. No runs scored, no hits given, none left on base for the Glasgow Galaxy. No errors charged to the Edinburgh Knights. And like that, we reach halfway. 4-4. We'll be back when the bottom of the fourth in 40 seconds. Don't time it.
Why not?
Don't time it. We're making the numbers up, okay? I'm Ewan Spence.
I'm Paul Convoy.
For Baseball Scotland, we'll speak to you shortly. Welcome back as the Edinburgh Knights look to stamp a little bit more possession onto this game. They've held the lead once. We're looking to try and take that there as Captain Ryan McFarlane drops the ball into centre of the outfield there, centre mid. And that's a comfortable 1 pitch, 1 ball seen. Hits it anyway, over it goes, onto first base. And the team captain starts off the inning with an on base and a hit. Back to the top of the order now. Edwards and Fortune Smith are going to be next. Edwards throwing a strike and a walk. And Fortune Smith with a hit and a pop-up out. Runner goes from first up to second, that's expected.
A strike called on the pitch.
Decision made. Pitch comes down. Fast and inside.
I think it hits him.
And hit by pitch is called as it grazes the midriff.
Looking at Edwards' face, I don't think it was quite a graze. I don't think it definitely got him.
Not enough to let out enough that we could hear anything on the field mic.
Thankfully.
But enough to get up there. Yeah. 90 feet. Thank you very much. That's the Edinburgh Knights dugout. First on base for Edwards as Adam Fortune Smith. Just checking his personal strike zone with the umpire, Ali Hay. Little discussion just to possibly just solidify in his mind what he's picked up from the previous appearances.
Yeah. There's not much wrong with that either. You just clarify what actually is a strike for the batter.
Runner goes from second to third. There's another pound in the box. Runner goes from first up to second as well. Everybody moves around 90 feet. Two runners in scoring position. No outs. First base is open. Pitch comes down and it's fast and hard in the centre. The swing is made and it is into the dugout. for the Edinburgh Knights.
I love that Casey the catcher there was up chasing that one regardless. He's done a great job behind the plate today.
There have been some days where the wind would catch that in Edinburgh and just blow it back into foul territory, just enough to let you grab it.
Yeah.
Grab it and make a difference. Count goes 1-1. And decisions made. There's a pop-up there into the centre of the infield. And this time it stays in the pitcher's glove. And unfortunately, Smith there.
So that's one out, and the Knights still have 2 runners in scoring position. Can Galaxy keep them?
Pitcher again, but it's the first time McCaffrey's facing Darren. McCaffrey strikeout looking at a pop-up previously, not for 2 now. Pitch comes down, contact made, but into the backstop.
Oh, good cut.
Situation remains 2 in scoring. First base empty. 1 out. Ball goes hefty inside there. Caffrey puts himself ahead in the count. Pitch comes down, it's swung and pushed back.
It's another foul.
Into the stands behind us here at the commentary table. 2-2. Unlike last week, Ruben has got his catcher's glove ready. Year and a half you didn't need that. You missed it last week. And I mean, to be fair, it's his laptop. Pitch comes down, decides against the swing. Smart decision.
Yeah, it was at the feet there. That was a good one.
Goes to 3-1.
3-2.
3-2. Knock, knock, knock. And the other one coming for. Oh, yeah, the
2 fouls.
second over.
Yeah.
And that goes on the outside. Bases loaded.
2 outs, and they'll caught up. Oh, 1 out. I apologise.
You went 1 and 2. I went 2 and 1. All's fair.
Yeah.
Much like the game, still 4-4. But you have to say at this point the Knights have a chance to take control. We do have Delcourt ground out and walk previously. No history against the Galaxy apart from this game. Goes for a swing and takes a miss on a possibly a touch high ball. Contact there would have been a huge pop-up though as well.
Which has been what Darren's trying to get, I think, is these pop-ups. It's been effective.
Certainly 2 pop-ups in the previous inning as well. 0-2. Bases are loaded with one away. And that goes to the outside.
Not a bad pitch to throw on 2 strikes.
Just leave it out there, just out of reach, just on the stretch. And a step back. Everybody just brings themselves back to get their foots on the base. Keep everybody comfortable. And there's a solid hit
solid
that is
contact.
going into centre right field. The glove is reached up, it bounces out of the glove. That's no harm
should
on
be scoring
outfielder
two.
Larkin, because that was a difficult one to catch on the run. And 2 runs are home. And the ball is going over to third as McCaffrey puts the foot down to get there in time, which does happen. 2 go through.
I think just to clarify, looking at the outfield here, I think there has been a change in outfield positions there. I think that was Kai Martin out in centre field.
Yeah, we have changed the scoreboard, but not our ground sheet
Yeah.
yet. Martin's moved up from pitcher out to centre field there. Yep.
Larkin's down left.
No harm in that, in losing that ball, though. That
No,
was
no,
a
no,
stretching at speed.
It's a tough one, yeah.
I am going to flag up a note for Edwards, though. That lazy walk into home, if McCaffrey had been tagged out, he hadn't got his foot on the plate yet, and overall for the run. It ain't over till you put your foot on home plate before the ball hits you or anybody else.
Have we been told about the sub here in the lineup? Yep. This is now Ian Fanning up the bat. A foul ball into the...
Move back there. Delcourt getting a double on that one, we're winning.
I mean, I would not credit that as an error by the outfielder. I think it was a tough play, so you'd have to then give him a double, yeah.
Yep. Runners in second and third as that pitch goes well behind on the inside. We are 1 away. Runners in second and third. Edinburgh Knights now in a 2-run lead.
Yeah, after the Knights tied it up in the third, had that, I would say, dominant fielding inning. You know, momentum's definitely with them.
It's a swing and a miss there from Fanning for the second out. Bickerman steps out. Previously walk and single. 2 away. Here's the point where the concentration and the need to stay in the game for the Galaxy comes in, though, because their heads can drop here and they could go behind 3 or 4 runs. Or they can just stay smart, get the out here, and it's only 2-run lead.
Yeah, this is still a very close game, especially at this level. Anything can happen in any inning. The fact that this game is so tight is testament to show how far these two teams have come.
We have had 4 lead changes as it stands with the game already.
This has been a fantastic game, and one you'd expect as a final as well. So credit to both the teams so far. And I expect this to continue right the way to the final inning. It's going to be a close game. Both these teams have clearly come to play, but the test is going to be in the 6th and 7th innings because none of these teams have went that far this year.
Ball goes foul down the first base line and into the sides. I wish if we had a stand there, it'd be much more fun. We just have people standing.
It's technically a stand-in, isn't it?
Ruben, go get us a long stand. Ruben's been in the tech game long enough. He knows that one. We put the camera on it. It's a chop that goes foul. Almost hit the foul tree. Goes under the branch. Doesn't quite touch our old friend, the foul tree. He hasn't seen any business this week or last week yet. Having a quiet September.
It's looking very pretty, that tree now, I must say. The colours are changing. Into the autumn. A hard hit ball into that tree might knock some conkers out, you know.
Pitch comes down, it's a chop swing that rolls down the third baseline. Pitcher comes in to pick it up. 1 run is there in case. The ball rolls past first baseman. Bickerman takes himself onto first base with a single. It's an RBI as well as McCaffrey comes home as well. There's another run on the board as we get runners on the corners for the ninth. And another run, another lead going through. As we said to Paul, this is the point where it's just like focus is needed.
Yes. Yeah.
And focus also on the Knights' part as well, because this is a long game.
And that's it. We're saying here that the Galaxy need to keep focus up in the infield. And they do. And I trust this team will. They're a very unified team. They'll fight for each other. And the same is going to be said when the Knights go back into the field next. They can't just sit on the lead. They've got to continue to work, because single A baseball is that type of game that, you can get 5 runs in an inning easy.
I mean, in terms of previous scores, these teams have met an 11-all tie, which is eventually forfeit. 14-9 and 13-14 have been respective scores. So they've always had runner goes from first up to second. They've always been high-scoring games, even for Scottish Single A. Double figures in all bar one of those teams over 6 games.
Close games as well. These teams sort of they know each other. They enjoy playing each other, I think. I hope.
James Horn there does a swing, goes back to pitcher. He gets out the way as he makes it up to first base. There's a throw to the throw that goes between second and first base and just lands in a no man's land there between pitcher and first.
It's an unfortunate play with the pitcher. He got a glove to it, but it comes back that hard, didn't he?
Yeah, that was never going anywhere but past the pitcher. So James Horn brings himself a single RBI, bringing Delcor through for the 4th run in this inning. Bickerman takes himself around 180 to go on to third base. So we remain with runners at the corners. Pretty sure we'll be up to second base shortly. With 4 runs on the board so far this innings, doubling the score. 2 outs though. That's 2 runs have come from a 2-out situation. And James Horn goes on the expected jaunt from first up to second. And pinch hitter Stoddart is going to be coming in shortly, assuming they get that far. Makarowski with Stoddart on deck. Makarowski does a hit, it bounces into the glove of third baseman. Takes a moment, it's a long, slow, looping throw. It's going to fall short and it's going to roll out of play as well. The run was already on the way home, but it's a guaranteed now with the out of play. And it will be scored as an out of play run. James Horn was already on the move, but hadn't reached base, so it'll be an out of play up to second base on there as well.
This will be the final batter, I believe.
Makarowski getting himself up to second base there. We're just going to take a minute to double check who's where. We've got Makarowski on second.
Yep.
Which means James Horn has made it all the way around as well. So there's another run on the board. Makarowski does the second to third. There's another pound in the steel third base meter. I should point out here that going round the order in single A has a rule that's specifically in place for that, Paul.
Yes, so the rule in single A for the first few innings, for all innings apart from the final inning, we'll just finish this play and tag out.
And it's a tag out, so it doesn't matter, but let's finish off that thought there.
In single A, the rule was put in place that it was going to be just once around the order for the first initial innings. So as a pitcher actually had the chance to develop, because there's nothing worse than a pitcher being up there and having to throw, more than once round the order. Knocks confidence, and things can just spiral out of control at that point. So the rule was put in place to keep the games close, allow pitchers to develop and fielders to develop, and keep the game going. So that rule still applies in the final because it's been played all season.
But when we get to the final inning,
But
you
the
can
final
take as
inning,
long as you
yes,
need.
the final inning, there is no limit to the number of batters because obviously, if someone's in the lead, they need a chance to. The other team needs a chance to get it back.
So let's just go down the card for that one there. 6 runs scored by the Edinburgh Knights in that half inning, taking them into double figures with 10 runs overall, playing out 4 runs at the moment against the Glasgow Galaxy. That was on 4 hits for this inning, putting 8 hits so far, with just 1 left on base. No errors charged to the Galaxy in that innings in terms of physical errors. Both of the times that the ball was in the glove was it very fast pace, or a very fast run.
The one in centre
out there.
field was a tough play in the pitcher. Well, that's one of the ones that's either in your glove and you're surprised you've got it, or just past you.
It's a 10-4 game. Breaker, breaker, breaker. Guess he's been watching Smokey and the Bandit over the weekend. And we will be back, top of the 5th inning, as the Glasgow Galaxy face a 6-run deficit to get back into the game. I'm Ewan Spence.
I'm Paul Convoy.
Ruben Hustler's keeping all the bits and the ones and zeros going steadily. We'll catch you back shortly. I don't know, all these team managers giving us defensive changes for the next inning. We're keeping up here in the commentary. We are not predicting the future. Commentators curse and all that. Right then, we're on at the top of the 5th with the Glasgow Galaxies. A 1, 2, 3. Here's Knox Ward and 10th in the batting order. And back to the top with Martin and Withers. Ross Walton drawing a walk previously. Yeah. And Edinburgh Knights McCaffrey staying in for the 5th inning in pitching.
I'd say she's done a fantastic job up there. I believe there's 2 strikes on the batter right now.
And again, it's how the pitching depth could play a big part here. Certainly last week with the Edinburgh Knights taking on Tairport Breakers, the depth of the pitching was needed. Yeah. Anyway, the ball bounces in front of the mound as McCaffrey picks that up over to James Horn. Nice, comfortable 1-3 there to kick off the innings.
I do know the Knights have some injuries with the pitching department. It's been a long season for them. So I believe Caitlin will be going as long as she can, just to help with that.
Yeah, and Fortune Smith and Ryan McFarlane have both pitched previously from this lineup. So there are 2 on the bench that have pitched before, and I suspect it will be going to Ryan McFarlane and Mookie if needed.
I believe
a little bit of a bounce there on the leg, but we don't have any runners on, so no discussion over what the bulk rule is, thankfully. It's if one foot is closer to the goal than another foot than one of the defending outfield, yeah?
The way I look at it is if the Batman signal flashes in the sky, then I know.
Counts 2-0. Long looping sinking, but not reaching the strike zone there. As the teams prepare to burn in the burning hot sun as it sort of pokes out behind a cloud and takes us to 13 degrees on the temperature. It's a scorcher.
Yeah, sun's out, guns out.
Bunt was shown but not taken. The walk is found. Kai Martin puts himself on base, which stops an impressive run of five batters retired without any on base there from McCaffrey. Withers comes up now, fly out and walk previously. Kai Martin on first. Let's see how long he takes to decide to do the second step of the shuffle. He's decided. He's away. Long throw from the catcher up to second base is not in time. Slightly off target, but doesn't bounce into the outfield as well, which is the danger here. And then I will comfortably let them all go from second to third base on that follow-on steal. I have a bee in my bonnet, which is the cliche for this commentary.
Well, let's face it, this is happening. Third base is getting stolen here.
Straight away? Yep, straight away. There he goes. Catcher's ready for it. Throw goes up to third base. A little bit short on the throw. Doesn't go past Ryan McFarlane, but it's a walk steal situation once more.
Yeah, Guy's quick. And credit to Caitlin. She's not throwing gas up there. She's throwing hard to hit pitches.
It is our third walk steal combination of the game for the Galaxy, though.
That's how walks do the damage in this league.
Confidence check, keep everybody honest over to third base from McCaffrey to McFarlane. Martin switched on. 2 strides back to the base. Sole onto the leather. Still in the game. Pitch comes down.
Nice
Drops into the zone.
Yeah, lovely pitch.
And if the time comes in for a relief pitcher, the relief pitcher is not going to be throwing like that.
No.
Drifts down, but out on the inside there for a ball. Strike comes down, the noise comes back from the dugout.
That was another good one.
Knock, knock, knock. Glasgow Galaxy 6 runs back. They have a runner on third base, though. 1 out so far. And pitch comes in, and it is hit straight to shortstop's gloves. There's the second out. So check throw over to third just to see if Martin is going to do anything stupid, but he's not. He's going to stay with his foot on third. Second out is given. On pop out to the shortstop for the second out.
Pitch high in the hands. It was tough to do anything with that one.
This is what we found out with McCaffrey. The finesse is getting the ball near the defence.
Yeah.
And letting them do the rest of the work.
Unless you barrel one of these pitches up, it's not going anywhere. That's what she's looking for.
Ground out and single for Raoul previously. Third at bat in the game. 2 outs. Kai Martin still sitting out there on third. Hoping to get into that lead. Edinburgh Knights. Just doing another check throw over to the third base and steal. The danger there is not keeping him honest. The danger there is an overthrow and into the foul tree and out of play. Even an overthrow into the foul territory would be enough to set the Jets going down a fourth. Yeah. Pitch comes in and it's hit high. It's going to go into foul territory down the right-hand line. And a glance over there, just while that was dropping to touch the ground. Martin halfway between third base and home was already on the move in anticipation. Ambition just a little bit more ahead of adherence to the rules of the ball. But again, the base running to put the pressure on, to distract, to keep the team off balance. Ground ball bounces through the infield over to the second baseman, Unfortunate Smith. Into the glove of James Horn, first base, and there on the 4-3 is your third up. It's 4 up, 3 down, 1 left on base and left on third base at that. No more runs scored for the Glasgow Galaxy. No more hits for the Galaxy as well. No errors charged to the Edinburgh Knights. And through 5 innings, Glasgow Galaxy have managed just the 4 runs. going into the bottom of the 5th. It's a 6-run lead with a total of 10 runs for the Edinburgh Knights. They have their hand comfortably on the stick marked control. Now all they need to do is control that stick and the ball in the next inning and preserve and extend that lead as we reach that 5th inning mark, and we're about to go past it into effectively the unknown for these teams.
Yes, this is the first time these teams will go past 5 this season. Actually, that's a lie. There was one game, I believe the Knights went to extra innings because the time limit allowed. And they played 6. But, but they weren't meant to.
He's good at making me wrong, isn't he? That's Paul Convoy. He's never getting on the microphone again. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I'm Ewan Spence. Ruben Hustler is doing the tech, although he's out checking his very long stand, which has a camera at the end of it. And we'll be back with you shortly as we are looking at a pitching change coming through as Charles Shue comes on to take to the mound. Be back shortly. Welcome back as we go to the bottom of the 5th for our Single A Championship here. Remember, we're going 7 at least. It's a 6-run lead for the Edinburgh Knights, and it's a chance for them to extend that now. Consistent scoring. 3 runs in the second, 1 more run in the third, and the 6th spot in the last inning as it's accelerated into the lead here. It's a one-shot game for the final. And we do have a pitching change as Charles Shue takes to the mound there. And Paul's probably a good point just to remind our listeners that although he's a single A player on the mound, he's a triple A player when he plays anywhere else.
Yes, so the single A allows a triple A level player to be a pitcher, to allow them to develop. That's the only way pitchers get to develop. You don't get to develop a triple A pitcher in a triple A game when it really matters. That's a bit bad to say that. Came out wrong, but you know what I mean.
Which is why currently there are 2 DHs sitting there in the batting lineup. One of them is the actual DH, and the other one is the
10th batter, the extra hitter that we've got. Yeah,
the interesting DH.
Yeah,
the interesting DH. Yes,
the 10th batter rule in Scottish baseball is just to allow the most people to play baseball.
Ryan McFarlane, team captain for the Edinburgh Knights, draws a walk at the top of the inning, just as the previous inning, where 1-2-3 is actually the 10-1-2. Captain Ryan McFarlane there, and now we return to the top of the order with Edwards and Fortune Smith. Edwards doing a nice collection here, hit by pitch, walk, and a strikeout. Looking for a hit to complete the collection. It's what we call the Scottish cycle. I think it's what we call the Scottish cycle. I'm not quite sure what we're putting in there. We'll have that sorted out for next year. Runner goes up from first through second as the pitch there bounces off and into the backstop. We do have our Scottish two-step. That's well established. Step 1, Paul.
Get on first.
Step 2.
Get the second.
There we go.
Oh, in this game, it made me get the third as well. So
I don't have enough money for the box. Stop winding me up. That's... She throws the pitch down. There's a lot of speed on that one. It graces the bottom of the box for a strike.
Yeah, the big difference here for the Knights batters is going to be the speed that comes from Shue.
We now have Blazing Sun, Scottish style. Swing and a miss on there for a 1-2 count now. Glasgow Galaxy outfielders come in a little bit as well. They're not expecting an all-out distance. And there's a chop field. It barely makes it into the infield. Third baseman runs in, does a long looping throw up to first, not in time. There's a nice single there from Edwards to strike, walk, hit by pitch and single. For the moment, we will call that the Scottish cycle. Ryan McFarlane gets himself over to third as well. We have runners on the corners, none away. And a 6-run lead for the Glasgow Galaxies. not for the Glasgow Galaxy. No. 6 runs behind.
Expect Edwards, yep.
Runner goes from first up to second. Ball goes, if we were playing cricket, that would be a wide. Edwards takes himself up on the steal, also showing his Scottish two-step as well. A mound visit now from Glasgow Galaxy captain Andrew Sweeney.
Yeah, that was called on by the catcher there. I think he's just wanting his pitcher just to get a little pep talk. Relax a little bit.
And fresh pitcher, throwing out walks and singles to start with. That's the relief.
Yeah.
Small settle, reset. Let's take a moment.
So.
Runners on second and third, no outs. First base is open. And as you hear there, 2-0 count. Pitch comes in fast and high for the ball. The speed is there to really upset the Knights players, but at the moment, it's got to get close to the zone to start forcing the batters to make those decisions.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a bit out of control just now, and which just negates his speed. You know, it's when he puts it in the zone, though. Yeah.
There we go. There for 3-2. Knock, knock, knock. And the walk taken there. Again with another cricket-sized wide. Loads up the bases though.
Yeah, those really wide ones, that's quite uncharacteristic of Charles Shear there. He's not usually that wild.
We return once more to the pitcher. Caitlin McCaffrey manning for the Knights. Strikeout pop-up and a walk previously. First time facing Shu. And finds the zone there for strike one.
Oh.
And hit by pitch there. Carefree choking that off on the way up to first base. And unfortunately Smith moves around from first through to second. Edwards moves from second to third. And Ryan McFarlane moves from third down at home to put one more run on the board.
Yeah, she did
11-4 game.
I think she did well not to swear though. Take a like a jump.
Another 2.5 innings before we can call who's champ, Paul. And another pitch comes in high there. Looking for the sinker, not a huge amount of speed on that one, but not finding the zone as well. Bases are loaded, no outs. And another ball comes in there for 2-0. Dal Kerr with a ground out, a walk, and a double. Pitch comes in, it's low again. 3-0 in the count. Pitch comes in, bounces off the catcher's glove. Called the ball.
Yep, ball 4.
Everybody moves round. Edwards takes himself to the dugout with another run. Smith moves round, Caffrey moves round, Delcor moves up. Bases remain loaded. Out count remains at 0. Shu finds the strike zone there as he faces the DH who's come in from Matthews, which is Ian Fanning.
Two solid strikes there. It's a good start to that bat. He swung.
There is Fanning turning around and suggesting that it grazed.
Oh, it did, but he swung. And I believe that is strike 3. Is it strike 3?
Everything everywhere all at once.
Or is classed as a foul ball?
We shall wait for the count, hopefully.
Yeah, still 2 strikes. Yeah, it must have been a foul,
Foul ball there.
It's one thing I'm not too sure about. Unless I hit the bat, of course.
Every day we get to go home and look up a new bit of the rule book, Paul.
Yeah.
Count goes 2-2.
As an umpire, I should know all the rules. So.
No, as an umpire, you should pretend you know all the rules. Say that loudly. We have another umpire next to you in the crowd. Pitch comes down. It's a hit and it bounces low. It's a hit that feels more like a bunt. It's a toss-up from the pitcher to his catcher to try and prevent the run scoring. But it's not in time.
It's an unfortunate play.
Adam Fortune Smith on the bounce of the green gets himself home there, I think, for one more run on the board. Fanning will get himself a single RBI on that one.
Yeah.
As we get the third run in this inning, it takes us to 13 overall. It's a 13-4 game.
A little bloop single from Fanning. Really tough one to try and field by anyone.
I mean, you saw the swing, you heard the contact, but it ended up being a bunt.
Yes, basically, it just clipped the bottom of the bat and didn't go anywhere. Or it did go somewhere. It went just into that gap between pitcher, catcher, and third base.
And fast reactions from Shu as the pitcher to get in, get the ball, and just do a scoop throw up to the catcher.
It was just not in time.
Just not in time.
Or caught, but we won't focus on that.
Ball comes in fast and helmet high on that one there. Wickerman is currently on a 2-for-2 game with a walk in the mix as well. And he's facing a bases loaded, no out situation. Jim Layton diving catch needed there from our catcher Casey. Goes to 3-0. And the ball goes out wide once more for another walk. And it's the walks that are doing the damage here as another run comes in. Two hits and 5 walks in the inning so far.
Yeah. It's been a tough inning for Shu on the mound here.
And we should point out, this isn't unusual in single A.
No, and this is the reason for the rules being in place about once round the order and all this. It's you try and not allow this to keep happening, but at the same time, this is a development league, and we have to remember that.
Pitch goes faster on the inside there. James Horn at the plate now. Strikeout, fly out, and singles so far. A little bit of a quality street scoreline coming in there. Shu's pitching is threatening a hit by pitch to go into that mix. Just looking to get the control back into the zone. 2-1 on a count, still no outs. Bases are loaded.
I'm looking over at the Galaxy bullpen, and there is someone warming up. But we only have 3 more batters left for this inning because of the rules.
And the walk once more brings another run home.
Yeah, this is just making it harder for Galaxy to mount a comeback, because until the 7th inning there is that run limit because of the batter's limit. Philip Markowski, the penultimate batter of this inning. Lee Stoddart will be the final batter. Unless, of course, we get a triple play.
We have the camera running for that.
Yeah.
Runners at first, runner at second, runner at third. No outs. Edinburgh Knights looking for an out of play call on that one.
I think that one might have went over the fence, but I think the umpire thought it went through it. But either way, we're not going to argue at this with this scoreline. You know, it's.
Yes, we are. That's why we. I'm saying that's why we have rules, Paul. We also have sportsmanship as well.
Yes, that's always been my big thing.
Counts not in one. Goes to the outside and low as well. Bounce out play has been given a ball from previously that takes us to a count of 2-0. Makarowski is 2 for 2 with a walk in the mix. Similar to Bickerman earlier in the game. Count goes 3-0. Swing there, foul. Stays alive. Although here, temptation would just be to wait for the ball and see what happens. Solid swing here to bring 2 runs home. They could bring 1 or 2 runs home. Would just put the game further out of reach. It's currently 15-4.
Yeah, sure needs some outs here.
And the count goes 3-2. Knock, knock, knock. Something is going to happen. And the walk is given, and the next run comes in. So we are at the last batter for the inning, giving the one-strike rule. Paul, let's do a sneaky think of the rules here. Would you be tempted to walk and just give up 1 run against a hit that could bring in 1, 2, or 3?
See, that's the thing. It's a big lead. I think 1 extra run's not going to make that much of a difference. But in theory, yes, you could. If you were way ahead, that's what I'd do.
Strike 1.
But there's always part of me when I play baseball. I want to play it as fairly as I can. So I would.
You're not going to walk Itani when he's on 5 for 5. You're going to play fair and let him have a go at number 6.
It was the argument I was having with myself when. That's a cheeky one with the lead they've got as well, you know.
Bickerman comes in there on a slow.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
On the ball coming through, and just a bit of brain fail, I think, on the part of the catcher.
Yeah.
Not aware of the position. Bickerman decides to come in and just bring in that extra run.
Yeah. As I was just saying, there's unwritten rules in baseball, and some people stand by them.
This is the point where we put in it's a development league.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Pick-off check from Shue over to third base. Throw is hard, thankfully on target. Not in time. At least it stays in play. So there's the run that would have been given away if you did the walk.
Yeah.
But there again, you want to play sportsmanlike. You want to give
Yeah.
everybody the chance. And what that would do for a batter's confidence would be to debate as well.
Yeah.
Ball there allows a stolen base as Makarowski goes up to second with 2 in scoring position. First base is open, but there'll be no more batters in here anyway. So it is 2.
I mean, yeah, at this stage, yeah, she was just deciding just to walk him. Base is empty. It's. I don't know what Mr. Horn's even doing here. There was a walk.
When the walk is given, the ball is dead, so the run can't score.
Yeah. That was an intentional walk, therefore.
So it doesn't go. We had this discussion at the single A game at the end of last year as well.
Probably, yeah.
Because it's not a walk, it's an intentional walk.
It's an intentional
Anyway,
walk.
we are just going to double check that with Ali, who's come over to the umpiring. But as it stands, the numbers there, celebratory for the Knights, devastating for the Galaxy, with 7 runs on the board to take a total of 17 runs for the Knights against 4 for the Galaxy. In terms of hits, though, just 2 hits in that inning. The rest coming from the walks, with 2 left, 3 left on base. Although it's an inning where the stats go a little bit skew because there were no outs in that inning as well. In any case, that's the bottom of the 5th. We play to 7, so the Galaxy have 2 more chances to make up that 13-run lead, and the Knights appear to be doing a pitching change. Have a healthy lead to defend. I'm Ewan Spence.
I'm Paul Convoy.
And we'll be back shortly. We're going to come back slightly early, as opposed to being slightly late for all the other innings there, because we have a score correction. Although, Paul, it was an intentional walk, the ball is considered live, which means that James Horn's quiet walk in the sort of Pink Panther sly way down to hopefully that nobody spotted, that counts.
Yeah.
So it's an 8-spot inning, 18-4 game. So when does the ball go dead then?
When it goes dead, out of play.
I suppose you're still throwing it, it's still going at the catcher's glove. Yeah? Well, there we are. As I said earlier, everybody gets to go home from every game of baseball and look up one of the rules. Guess what I'm looking up this week? It's bad a catcher blocking going to throw up to third base. But I'm going to add that one into it as well. Okay, right then. We are in the top of the 6th of 7-inning game. As we said earlier, these teams have went to a time break previously in the season, so some of them will be familiar with inning number 6, but inning number 7 will be an adventure. 14-run deficit for the Glasgow Galaxy to make up, and we did look like we were going to get a pitching change, but the discussion, short as it may be, McCaffrey is back on the mound.
McCaffrey's indecision on the mound was due to a ladybug being on the mound, which he went and saved.
They're meant to be lucky.
Well, if it's been there all game, that makes sense.
And now it's not there anymore.
Oh.
If you like your omens, there you go there. And the sinker pitch there, not reaching the zone as well. Caffrey sinker last week was deadly accurate and inducing the ground balls. It's not been as on point this week. But again, only given up 4 runs so far. Count is 3-0 at the moment. 6-4 in 1936. It's a historic low this season for McCaffrey at the mound on an ERA 9. just sitting at an ERA 9 of just 6 at the moment.
Right.
Which would put her at the lowest ERA of the entire bench. You 1, 2, 3 from the Galaxy, folks. So Casey, Drennan, and McIntosh. Casey is a single and a walk on the previous plate appearances. Pitch comes down. Swing is done there. It's high. It's going into left deep field.
Ground rule double.
And it's a ground rule double as it bounces in front of the fence.
I must admit, I have been waiting on him doing that today. I love to see that young man swing the bat. Great hit.
And this is the point where the Galaxy bench is subdued. They are far behind. But to get in this game, the adrenaline, the energy needs to come from everybody around.
That's it. A hit like that should be getting everybody on their feet. It's a great hit.
Puts himself on pitch scoring position.
Yeah, the normally loud Galaxy bench is a little bit subdued, as you say, but if Greenan puts one in play here, that's, you know, momentum.
Baseball may be a team sport. And you're looking for the team on the field, you're looking for the team in the dugout, but you're also looking for the one-on-one matchups from pitcher and batter. Runner goes from second to third, put a pound in the box. Catcher throw goes up, it's wide of third base. But thankfully McFarlane gets the glove out there to stop it going any further. The foul tree is denied once more. And Casey takes himself to third base. Equalized count at 1-1. Greenan is a walk and a single previously. And ball goes to the outside there, 2-1. Pitch comes down, and it's popped up, it's flying out, and it is going out, caught out in the left field, thrown back in there. Casey brings himself home though, so we got ourselves a sac fly there from Grannon.
Yep.
One run home, but an out was given up in the process. Five outs left for the Galaxy. 13 runs behind. Pitch comes down and it's a swing and it's popped up into the infield. James Horn going for it. Not in time, bounces in foul territory. I mean, going back to that sack fly, it wasn't a decision to do a sack fly.
No.
With a little bit more legs on that, that would have been another ground rule double and brought the run home anyway.
Yeah.
But this is what the Knights are looking for. Get the outs.
That's it.
Don't bother with the runs too much. Knock them down. 5 left.
Yeah. That'll be McCarthy's strategy right now, is just get the ball in the strike zone and make them hit it. Because as we've discussed already, it's the walks that draw the big score lines in these games.
Bounces in front of the plate, over the head of the catcher. Bases are empty though, 1 away. Solid contact there. Goes into McCaffrey's glove at the pitcher's mound. Plenty time to bring that over. Still snap throw over to James Horn. Adrenaline flowing high. 1-3. 4 outs left for the Galaxy. Top of the 6th. Enriquez steps up now. Ground out 6-3. Strikeout. Swinging previously. Pitch comes down. Drops just on the inside. 1-0. Excitement coming from the Little League, just behind the foul tree. Pitch comes in high there.
Yeah,
I believe we've had a walk-off at the Little League there. You might have just heard that in the background. We'll get some of them into single A in a few years' time.
Yeah, it's the final game of their season as well.
So, Paul, as we said there twice, final game there. So when do we all start up again after the winter break?
We'll get some friendlies and...
Strong hit there. I'll just break into there. Goes between the gap between first and second. Rolls out into shallow right field. Ball's just kept out there. Enriquez takes a single on that one. Held at first base.
So I said, yeah, we will start some friendlies up again in March. And the season usually starts the first week of April. Around about that time.
And those of you looking to get involved, Triple A, Single A, or to come along to help out with the actual juniors. Are you happy now? www.baseballscotland.co.uk has all our contact details, or you can go through Facebook as well, facebook.com/baseballscotland. Runner goes from first up to second. Henriquez makes that in time. The throw is attempted from the catcher and goes wild and wide to the side, but stopped in time by shortstops.
It's worth mentioning, obviously, we've got teams here in Edinburgh, teams in Glasgow, but we also have teams in Tayport and up in Aberdeen as well. So there's plenty of opportunity for people to get involved in baseball in Scotland if they so wish.
And you don't have to be playing either. I haven't played a stroke of baseball in my life ever, but there's opportunities for scoring, for coaching, for broadcasting, for working on the social media.
For umpiring.
For umpiring as well, yeah. Runner goes from second to third. Pound goes into the box. Catcher decides to make the throw up to third base. Throw is there, but the ball doesn't get down to put the tag on in time.
That was a close one.
Enriquez makes it round to third base. Twice on the steals, the Edinburgh Knights have been looking to get that third out to close out this inning. 7-inning game, we're in the top of the 6th. Our visitors are chasing 13-run lead. 2-0 from our umpire, Ali Hay. Moves to 3-0. Ali Hay's behind home plate. We also have George Crespo as our first outfield umpire, and Wolfie Dean as our second outfield umpire there. All coming up through the system. As you mentioned, Ali Hay just started umpiring Single A this year and moving up, and we have the structured training courses available for anybody interested as well. Larkin earns the walk on that one there to join the walk that he made in the second inning. And we have runners on the corners. McCaffrey is into the 6th inning here. We'll be looking to certainly get out the 6th inning, and then the team will have the decision to make for the 7th inning if it is, it will be required.
Yeah, the Knights will need to pitch the 7th regardless.
And we talked earlier about pitching depth and going as far into the order as you can.
Yeah. So unless Caitlin's feeling strain on her arm, she should stay in this one. But you don't want to risk injury even if the last game of the season. Still, you know, we don't get paid here. We're all volunteers, all voluntary players. Still got to work on a Monday.
There's a Craig David song in there, but it's too modern for me to get the something on a Monday reference in. I would have to go back to Mamas and the Papas, I think. No, we can do the Bangles Manic Monday. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Runner goes from first up to second. We're development league, so we'll let them have a stolen base, but there's always the argument for the defence going, nah, you can have that, it's fine.
I'd put that one down to catcher's indifference, or defensive indifference rather. But
I'm not doing the official scoring at this
yeah,
point,
it's fine,
Paul.
it's
Not up to
you.
me.
Yep.
Oh, there's a hit in the ball, and it's flying out into the outfield, and that's taken incredibly easy from left fielder Bickerman. And that retires the side in the top of the 6th inning.
The Knights' defence has been superb today. I've really got to give them credit for that.
We'll run down the numbers on that one. We've got 1 run on 2 hits, and no errors charged to the Edinburgh Knights. 2 were left on base for the Glasgow Galaxy. They've clawed back 1 run of the 14-run deficit they are facing. So they're leaving themselves an almighty heroic 1 for the ages, top of the 7th innings. And if they want to make that legend even more legendary, well, let's see how far the Knights can step forward as we go into the bottom of the 6th. I'm Ewan Spence.
I'm Paul Convoy.
Ruben Hustler's still not on the microphone, but he's happily keeping everything right on the scoreboards, and we'll catch you up shortly. Ta-ra for now. You join us back here for the bottom of the 6th inning at the Caledonian Cup Grand Final for Baseball Scotland's Single A League. The AAA League was won 3 weekends ago by the Edinburgh Cannons and their affiliate team in Single A. The Edinburgh Knights are currently 18 runs to the good against 5 of their competitors, the Glasgow Galaxy. 13-run lead, a chance to extend that. A heroic task will be needed by the Glasgow Galaxy, but there are heroes and there are superheroes. How much of a hero will they need to be is going to be determined by the bottom of the 6th. Once more, Captain Ryan McFarlane will lead off. Then Edwards and Fortune Smith will be second and third as we go through the inning. We have a pitcher change as well, as John Taff, again, Single A player for pitching, but also Triple A for playing on the outfield. So again, we are looking at a development pitcher here coming through.
That's it, yeah. I mean, JT is
Triple A player.
Triple A player. He's also the manager of this.
And there's a hit. McFarlane goes past the pitcher's mound, goes into the shortstop's gloves, goes over to first base, and it's called in time. 6-3, 1 up, 1 down. John Taff inducing a really tasty ground ball there.
Yeah, to call him a development pitcher is probably a bit of an insult. But
here's an envelope. Would you like to push it?
He is a player that will go up there and he will be able to throw strikes, which is what Galaxy need at this stage, to trust their infield to get the outs.
Pitch comes in outside and low. We're back to the top of the order with Edwards. Single, hit by pitch, strikeout, and a walk. What's he not had yet?
Nice pitch.
Not had a ground rule yet.
No, he's not. No.
What are the other ways you can get on base? Oh, you can have a drop third strike. You can get on base that way. He's not had that. Pitch comes in, swings high, and it's popped up into the infield. Withers comes in and gets that into the second base glove quite comfortably. P4, 2 up, 2 down. John Taff pitching what he needs to pitch here.
Exactly.
To keep the Galaxy as close as possible.
Yeah, JT's role here is no runs given up. Give his team the best opportunity to get 13 runs in the 7th, because of course there is no batting number.
You can go
limit.
13 in this.
Yeah, you just keep batting until everyone's out.
To be fair, they would probably want to go 14. Contact made by Fortune Smith. It's a bit of a fluke. It's in the sky and it just, again, into the glove of the first baseman. Got to say, what we have there is exactly what Galaxy would have wanted. 3
That's
up,
it.
3 down. Ground out, pop up, line drive caught. And there we go. Bottom of the 6th, 1 inning left. Let's do the numbers on the board. No runs in that inning, but it's a total of 18 for the Edinburgh Knights. No hits given, none left on base. No errors charged to the Glasgow Galaxy either. It's a 0-0-0-0 down the line. But the big number here is 18-4. How much will the Knights be able to hold back? Can they make sure that 15 runs don't go past them? And of course, the other quiet story in this game is, are they going to change the pitcher? Back soon.
Yeah, 18-5.
85.
Yep.
I know. So how much would you like to see?
I mean, there's been a couple of spectacular single plays. A couple of spectacular single plays, but that's no brainer. Should be soaked in champagne or whatever possible.
That's fine.
It'd be good to get if we can do like interview on camera.
Yeah, we can't do that in time with the setup today. Welcome to the top of the 7th of 7 innings. The visitors, Glasgow Galaxy, 13 runs behind in an 18-5 game. Heroics are going to be required.
Yep.
Knox Ward is coming in as your first batter.
Knox Watson.
Knox Watson, I can't read my own handwriting. And Martin and Withers, 1 and 2 in the order, will be second and third. There is no limit in the 7th inning. We don't stop once round the order,
No.
which means
Need 3 outs.
3 outs are needed from the Edinburgh Knights. A minimum of 13 runs are going to be needed by the Glasgow Galaxy. And taking to the mound, Caitlin McCaffrey, still there.
Yep. I think manager McFarlane would have a fight to try and take the ball off her right now.
Whatever discussion happened last week for McFarlane to come in as the pinch pitcher has went the other way this week, shall we say. Just misses the top of the zone there, the sinker. Another ball called. Knox showing us a walk, and a ground out so far.
It's a walk for the man they call Knoxie.
Takes McCaffrey's pitch count up to 120 for the game.
Wow.
Last game of the season, so the number of rest days would be measured in weeks, if not months.
3 outs needed for the Knights. 13 runs needed for Galaxy. Lead off man's on, so that's the start of it.
He's done step 1, we'll watch for step 2. Step 2's happening, he's going for the steal on second. Throw goes up from the catcher.
I believe it was a strike on the pitch as well.
One in scoring position. The focus though has to be on the outs now. We have a cushion. Don't do anything ridiculously stupid, but the 3 outs are the priority. At the end of those 3 outs lies a trophy. And all the Glasgow Galaxy need to do is take 13 steps to put that trophy a few more outs out of reach.
Speaking of that trophy, that is presented to the winner of this game up in Aberdeen this year at the annual Baseball Scotland Awards evening, November 2nd.
Foul down the third base line there. Those of you members of Baseball Scotland can check the Facebook page. Your tickets and all of the gubbins and shenanigans.
Yeah, if you're looking for tickets for that, contact Aberdeen Baseball Club.
It's a 1-2 count in McCaffrey's favour. Runner on second. Pitch comes in, the swing is decided on, it goes up into the air just over the head of the shortstop. Picked up by the left fielder, who throws it into second base and gets the out.
It was a great hit by Kai Martin there. It fell into the gap between short and left. I believe there was a Darrell O'Brien's School of Hard Sums was actually filmed here in Edinburgh when they did that test to see if there was a perfect distance between left field and shortstop to where it was never going to be caught. I think that's where that ball landed.
In any case, though, it's the tag up was not made.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it was going to be shallow enough that there's no need for a tag, but it did hold up, and just the way the left fielder came up, picked it up, and rifled it to the shortstop for the tag.
So we have one away. There's the first out.
Or second baseman for the tag, should I say.
Martin will be awarded with a single on that one, though.
Yeah. Who is now at second base as well.
My, what happened? Did he take a second? Withers up now. Fly out, pop up and walk so far. 2 outs left. Runner goes from second over to third. Throw from the catcher. Goes down to first baseman. And it's offline. Goes past the captain McFarlane. Well deep into the outfield. And as the ball goes to the outfield away from the plate, Kai Martin makes himself towards the plate. Full speed. Making sure nothing goes wrong there. Stolen base to third. And then an on the throw. And an error, actually, was going to get the credited there on the throw from the catcher. It is 1 run home.
Yeah, Kai Martin applying enough pressure there to make things happen for himself. Get a run on the board. Start Galaxy off.
12 to go for the Galaxy. 2 to go for the Knights. Pitch comes down high.
It was a close one, I believe, but I do think it was high.
Pitch comes down, it's high, but it's swung on into the shortstop's glove. Over to James Horn, the race is on. First baseman and the ball wins that one. There's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Delcott, the shortstop's been great today.
1 line out left for the Glasgow Galaxy. Twelve runs behind. McCaffrey still on the mound. Threw the first pitch out. Looking to throw the last pitch out as well. One goes, it's a swing high, it's going into right field, bounces on the ground, so it's going to be a single there for Raoul.
Opposite field's hit, dropped into the little gap that was left. And up comes Kieran Casey. Big ground rule double in his last at bat.
Yep. Opened with a single, then took a walk, then the ground rule double.
Yeah. There's a man to kickstart that 2-out rally. This is it.
Runner on first, 2 away. That next out, whenever it happens, will seal the game for the Knights. Runner goes from first through second. Ball goes through. Runner reaches second.
I think Casey wanted that one as well, but he let the runner steal.
Every pitch could be the winning pitch. Glasgow Galaxy are going to be on a knife edge. Need to go 1 run at a time. 1 batter at a time. 1 pitch at a time. Count goes 2-0.
Oh, I assumed the first pitch was a strike. I thought he put the hand up for a strike, but
I think the indication was to the pitcher that it was a high. Pitch comes in there and it's swung, it's going high, it's going long, it's reaching the foul tree. And that is, foul tree is taken.
I think I went over the foul tree.
And potentially the last breath. No, we're giving the foul tree the catch, okay, Paul? If we're giving McFarlane his one and only single against the Galaxy for the whole season, we're giving the foul tree that one, okay? And the ball would have fallen out of the territory as well and out of the field of play. Pitch comes down, hits taken again, and it bounces in front and rolls down the third base line.
Kieran's wanting these now. He's barreled one up and he's just looking to rattle another one. But what Galaxy need are people on base, so
Count is equal at 2-2. Both dugouts quiet in anticipation. And the ball goes wide. Count fills up. 3-2. Knock, knock, knock.
wasn't a bad pitch to throw when the batter's clearly wanting to hit something, you know, try and get him off
That's
the plate.
not 3-2. I'm getting ahead of myself now. It's 3-1. Will it be 3-2?
No, it's 3-2. It's 2 foul balls he's had.
Pitch comes down, hits the barrel, goes out high, down the third base line.
It
is staying fair.
It's a home run.
And it's over the fence.
That is a
It's
home
high
run.
and long and gone.
I hate the fact you can't tell. There's no big home run call.
It's a 2-run home run.
That's phenomenal.
Casey gets what he wanted.
Yep.
If the Galaxy are going to do anything, Casey's going to have to do that again in this inning.
Yeah, preferably with bases loaded for him next time, I suppose. But
one more hit, 2 more runs, 10 runs behind.
yeah, now it's up to Greenan up next.
So it's actually pretty simple. Casey needs to get another RBI in this inning.
Yeah, he does. If Galaxy want a chance to win this, Casey needs to get up again. So
Yep, they've got to go 10 batters round to get back to Casey for the RBI. But he's going to be your tying run.
he has to be. Yep.
It's 2 outs.
Go, Caitlin.
And this is where the Knights need to keep the focus. That
Yeah.
is a big cushion. Strike 1.
Well, it didn't rattle McCaffrey, I tell you that.
Game of baseball lasts as long as you have outs left. Glasgow Galaxy have just the 1 out left. But they've had that for 2 pitchers, and both of them have made it over the plate. It's a bouncing run, goes to McCaffrey. McCaffrey picks it up, makes a throw to first base. James Horn bobbles it out of the glove into his ungloved hand, bobbles it a second time out of the hand as well. The ball rolls away. You can't charge an error twice.
Yeah, Horn owes McCaffrey a beer after that one.
And that's on base. On a fielding error from third baseman James Horn.
Would have been quite poetic, that finish.
We can write a script, but we are not the actors, Mr. Conboy. 1 more on base for the Galaxy. McIntosh steps up, ground out, ground out, ground out. Not for 3 in the game. Runner on first makes a run up to second. Catcher just keeps it easy, keeps it in play, hands the scoring position to Greenan.
Green, one of the fastest players in the league, so I expect third base to be taken rather shortly.
Already taken a 15-foot lead. McCaffrey just bears her teeth and threatens to throw back to second. Runner goes from second through third. It's a bounce pitch. Again, and McCaffrey walks it into the infield to pick it up, throws it over. James Horn makes it safe this time. There's your 3rd out. The game started 3 hours and 5 minutes ago with a pitch from Caitlin McCaffrey on the Edinburgh Knights. 3 hours, 4 minutes later, she picks the ball up, throws it over to first base. All the work is hard. Not only is it a victory for the Edinburgh Knights in an 18-8 game, it's a complete game thrown in the final game of the season from Caitlin McCaffrey, taking the Knights to victory. Mustn't discount, though, the Glasgow Galaxy.
Not at all.
Team that have fought through from 4th seed and forced into the wild card knockout round to start off the postseason.
That's a special mention to the Galaxy there because they've played 3 games in this postseason.
Beating their local rivals for the first time as well in the Glasgow Comets. They're taking themselves to the final, losing home field advantage as 4th seeds, but bringing into a game that is with most single A games the scoreable lies.
Yeah.
Just how back and forth it was. Apart from one massive inning there, going through 6, it knocked the confidence a little bit.
Yeah.
These teams have been nip and tuck in the individual
Absolutely
matchups
have.
all the way through the field.
And saying that, credit to the Edinburgh Knights, they were superb today. Caitlin McCaffrey on the mound did a phenomenal job, considering there was discussions at the start of the season about her not pitching at all this year. She finally got her way and proved why they should have listened to her all along.
So, is there going to be a question about who the MVP is going to be for the
I don't
game?
think there needs to be a question. MVP is, of course, announced at the awards evening, but if you've watched the last 2 streams, you know who it is. So congratulations to the Edinburgh Knights. It was a great season for them, and that was a well-earned victory there today. And commiserations to Galaxy. A great season from them also. Great to see the team come along and develop like they did for the postseason, which is what it's all about at Single A.
Paul Convoy there, who's just going to cede the microphone very briefly over, as we are joined now at the delightful commentary table, which might even get a roof next year, from the Edinburgh Cannons captain, who is not the senior team to the Knights. You're the Knights affiliate.
Well, you can call it whatever way you wish. If you want to call it majors to AAA, it's there's no straight line from Knights to Cannons, but a lot of them do come up and help the Cannons out through the year. We wouldn't be where we are this year without the help of many of the players over there that are celebrating right now. So it's always greatly appreciated, and it's good to see them continue on Edinburgh's winning ways.
Of course, Edinburgh Cannons taking the AAA trophy 3 weekends ago. Tell us a little bit about that game, because it was against the Tayport Breakers, who, let's face it, have been a bit of a nemesis for your lot in the finals.
Well, yes, especially in the playoffs. Yes, it's been. But my pacemaker might have only just recharged from that game. As I said to the guys after it, those Tayport games, those final games, we lost last year to them in the final. In the last inning, it took 7 innings. They beat us by 1. The year before that, we lost in the semis to them. This year, it took 8 innings to finally see them off. That is always the hardest, toughest. It's almost a war of attrition. By the end of it, we're hugging each other just because we're glad it's done. It's over. Oh my God.
So how important then for the Cannons is for a team like the Knights to come along and bring both trophies back to Edinburgh this year?
It's so good, not just for the Cannons, but the whole of Edinburgh baseball. We also, obviously, the Devils and the Angels. Angels this year, their first year, putting on a great showing. First year in the league and acquitting themselves well, also playing well. It's grand to have that silverware come in to also back up the belief that we're doing things right. We're helping out. We help coach everyone when it comes to the training sessions and nights and such, and we're here supporting them. As if half the team of Cannons is here cheering them on, supporting them, helping them out, giving them tips. Hey, try this, do that. Everyone out here is on this field for the Knights is still learning the game, still learning new aspects, new bits of the game. It's not a game you can pick up, read a book, and then play perfectly. So to be able to help them and kind of feel maybe that we had a small hand in their success is a little gloaty, but it's good.
Rory Dunn there, the Edinburgh Cannons. Right, thanks for popping in. It's a long winter now, but keep everything ready for the season next year as we come back.
Absolutely.
On the YouTube channels as well. Just going to reach over and see if Ali Hay is available. Just catch a word with the umpire. The season's over, so he can probably tell us some secrets there as well. But Ali, welcome. There you are. Head umpire, first time taking a championship game. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling tired. I mean, much like...
well over 3 hours game, yeah?
Yes, and much like these two teams, they're not used to playing the 7 innings, so they both, obviously, Knights pulled out a brilliant win, but both teams were absolutely fantastic today. It was a pleasure to umpire them, genuinely.
Tell me what it's like volunteering to umpire. Because obviously it's very easy to come down and say, I want to play baseball.
Yes.
But there's also the opportunity to come down and say, I want to officiate baseball.
Yeah, this will be my 9th. This is the end of my 9th year with the Scottish Baseball League, and it was this year I've started on the umpiring, and it's daunting. But one thing I will say is the teams in these leagues really make it an easier job. You know, I'm learning as much as they are, and it's been huge to help me along, both in terms of my confidence, in terms of learning the game even more intricately. Than you have to be crazy to decide to be an umpire. Let's be honest.
Stand here and let Scottish people throw things at you for 3
Yeah,
hours.
yeah. No one's ever happy, but no, it's. I've really enjoyed umpiring this year. It's been good to learn with these teams, and I'm looking forward to doing more umpiring next year.
So does that mean you won't be playing next year? You've now decided that the umpiring route?
Yes, so I will be actually splitting myself. I've been umpiring both leagues this year because when needed, stepping in, doing infield, doing home plate when required. But I think next year I'll be splitting myself. I'm dropping myself to single A baseball after 8 years playing in Triple A and then a year umpiring. I still miss playing. It's a lot of fun. So I will be triple A umpire and a single A player. So it was nice. This was a nice dynamo for me to finish off this season.
So basically, you want to be here next year, but on the other side of the plate.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if the competition's as fierce as it was this year, I've got my work cut out for me on both sides of the plate.
Well, there we are. Baseball Scotland will return. Like, that sounds like a James Bond movie, don't I? Ali Hay there, one of our umpiring team there for the final, joined by Josh Crespo and Wolfie Dean out in the outfield as well. So that pretty much draws the season to an end. Caitlin McCaffrey, who notoriously wonderful at pitching, notoriously shy of the microphone, is at the other side of the field, so she doesn't have to talk to us. But I'm tempted just to keep this mic live just a little bit longer to see if Ruben can grab a heart. Thanks very much for watching. So let me just remind you of all the details again. Hopefully you're watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on a hokey stream somewhere, that's great as well. But come and find us. The YouTube channel, please like, love, share and subscribe. I'm not sure what we will be doing over the summer and the winter. And we will be back here in February as the spring training games come into play. You'll also find us on a website. It's always www.baseballscotland.co.uk. And I've never seen somebody so reluctantly pick up a headset after such a dominant game as well. Caitlin McCaffrey joins us. Caitlin, I'm going to bring you back to a question I asked you last week, which was, who made the decision to pull you out after the 5th inning? So I'm going to ask you again, who made the decision to not pull you out after the 5th and 6th inning?
Well, I think this time it kind of was a unanimous, yes, you're definitely staying in the game after we kept getting people out. Last week, I'm not going to drop him in the shit, but someone that may or may not run our team.
Ruben, stop the clock. 3 hours, 40 minutes before somebody swore on the stream.
Oh, sorry, guys.
How does it feel throwing a complete game?
Honestly, fine. Like, as I say to everybody, because everybody's kind of like, oh, you've just pitched 7 innings, but I don't think I throw properly because I don't get sore. So I can I think it's probably the speed that I'm pitching at as well. But it's just very like lobbing the ball across plate. So
right back at the start of the season, you weren't even sure if you were going to be a pitcher.
Well,
How
yes.
do you feel now?
Fine. I'm hoping that they'll keep me going next year. But yeah, I mean, the beginning of the season, we were really struggling with pitches, and I kind of kept nagging, and I was like, just put me on the mound. It's just throwing the ball. It's just throw strikes, guys. It's not hard. And then eventually, I think it got into someone's brains, and yeah, so that's
I'm going to take you back
perseverance.
to the plate appearance before the final plate appearance.
Yes.
Where we had a nice bouncing ground ball right in front of you. You picked it up.
I know.
It's just like, yay!
I
and
know.
Your first baseman gets...
Yeah, no,
Gets
that
to
was
buy the
100%
next round.
mine. Yes. No, that was my poor throw, to be fair, and I'm so glad I got a redo in the last one because that will haunt me for the rest of my life. But it's okay because I didn't score over it, so it's okay.
I do hear you on that, but we have the recording, and we do think that's an E3, not an E1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't have it go into one glove and then go into the other glove and then drop it
That's
and be
fair.
called a throwing error.
Yeah, but it should have been to his chest, not to the ground. In my
Irrespective of that, the trophy will soon be in your hands.
Yes,
but
it will.
The presumptive champions, go back and join the team.
I'm going
Because
to.
I know how much you're scared of
I'm
the microphone.
going to. Yeah, I don't. Nobody
You
wants to
shouldn't
hear me
be. You weren't scared of pitching at the start of the season, but there we are.
know.
Caitlin
Awesome.
McCaffrey, winning
Thank you so
pitcher
much.
with a complete game there for the Edinburgh Knights. Here in the Caledonian Cup Single A final, Edinburgh Knights take that one. The Caledonian Cup Triple A, as we heard from Captain Rory Dunn, happened earlier in the month. So it is a clean trophy sweep of the silverware for the Edinburgh clubs as we close out the 2024 season here of baseball in Scotland. That's not to say that there isn't more baseball. The university leagues are kicking off there as well, and there will always be opportunities for you to volunteer for countless sports. But if you want to get in touch, our training will carry on through the winter months, and our pre-seasons will start in February next year as well. All the details, baseballscotland.co.uk, facebook.com/baseballscotland, and here on our YouTube channel as well. And if you want to go behind the scenes, the unofficial Baseball Scotland podcast, Ball, Caps and Bagpipes, is going to be available as well, where you can find all your good podcasts, your various podcast directories, and if you must, it's on Spotify as well. I've been Ewan Spence. I'm joined by Paul Convoy here at the commentary table. Next year we might have a roof. Next year we will definitely have Reuven Hustler on the tech once more, serving Sterling Starvis, keeping us all online. And that, as we say, is that for the season. Come 2025, hasty back.